Okie dokie, I believe we are all the way live. Hello and welcome to my graveyard. I am your host of the evening, the Cemetery Man from Salem, Mass. Always taking names and kicking candy ass, live and in color, here with you on Grande's Graveyard. And welcome to the very first edition of the Great Debate. And I am welcomely warmed by the legendary Russell Peters, aka AJ Zetro. Welcome back to the graveyard, my friend. How are you?
What's up, buddy? Thanks for inviting me back. I'm full of fucking caffeine and I'm ready to go, man.
Hell yeah. No, I can't actually take credit for this show. You had an awesome shirt. I love the shirt. You match my background better than I do. I'm rocking the Terry McMinn shirt.
My wife likes me to wear color every once in a while. So
I'm weird. Like I always wear black because it's like slimming. But I don't know. I'm just like people always tell me, "Oh, you should wear color." I'm like, nah. Like I don't know.
Plus, it's 95 degrees outside, so I'm wondering. You're lucky I had this on.
yeah. I remember. I think you were driving home today, and you had like the 100-degree thing. I was like, damn. Like you don't know. That's some Texas heat right there. Even though
right, exactly. There you go. It'll get me into like an even a bigger mood for it. I'll be like the Texas heat, just like you said there. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, the summertime to me, nothing says Texas Chainsaw Massacre like the summertime, like July, August. So that's why I figured it was a good spot for the show. But you actually suggested, you said, hey, we're kind of different on that remake. And what if we did a debate? And I said, okay, we could do original, remake. And what if we threw the new 2022 reboot in there? Because I haven't really gone in depth on the channel. And you were like, yeah, so original, remake, reboot, and a triple threat on the show tonight. So I'm pleased for you to join. I feel like it's going to be a fun discussion. We got a couple people in the chat already. Brother Neon Black Reviews. We talking TCM? You know I'm in. That's his favorite all-time horror movie. Welcome, nice. Neon Black. Also, it's the scariest thumbnail on YouTube. I love it. That's courtesy of AJ, too. He's a master at putting the face in the hole, if you will. I love it. Falcon Adam, if you see a copy of TCM4, burn it. That's the one with Mr. Matthew McConaughey, directed by Kim Henkel when he was on more cocaine than fucking anybody in the history of time. But welcome, Falcon Adam. Miss Carter's in the house. Ciao, Grande. And hello, everyone. What's up, Miss C? The Master of Fear is here. What's going on, Fear? We got a packed house. Oh, yeah, we're going straight edge here? I don't know.
But today, yeah, I got coffee.
Sure. And I've got agua. So we're straight edge nuts that CM punking out. And you're Chicago boy. So I mean, why not?
Yeah. I may have thrown a quick shot in here, but it's nothing really. It's just to warm up the throat a little bit.
Sure. Well, we'll loosen up the veins, warm you up a little bit, even though it's 100 degrees. You never know. I mean,
yeah, right.
Before we get into, we got a patter.
Yeah. I was sitting around saying, you know what? I need my balls broken over something. So I said, I'm going to contact Grande.
Well, no, that debate part's going to be fun. I am very much looking forward to that. But I figured we start the show off with a little brief rundown of your thoughts on the movies we aren't going to go in depth in on this episode, because obviously there's 9 Texas Chainsaw movies. We're going in depth on about a third of them. But what are your thoughts on the series as a whole? And then if you want to take me through your individual brief thoughts on the other movies of the franchise, please, the floor is yours, my friend.
Well, I would say I'd probably have to see Leatherface is my favorite out of the big 4 psychos or whatever you want to say. I like probably Friday the 13th is my jam. If you want to go in that direction, I'll watch pretty much all of those and just enjoy all of them at one some way or another. Texas Chainsaw Massacre is probably that series is probably second, and then you can get the rest Halloween and because there's some great ones and there's some shit ones. But yeah, there's a few in the TCM universe for me. But as a whole, yeah, I like it. I enjoy almost all of them, and one I really haven't even seen yet, and you'll probably guess which one it is because I think it's everyone's least favorite out of all of them.
Oh, I'm sure I can guess which one that is, but that's that's interesting. I don't know if I've ever heard somebody say of the big slasher villains that Leatherface is their favorite. I'd love to know why. What makes Leatherface stand out?
I don't know. I mean, look behind me over here.
There he is.
We got some stuff.
Leather.
Yeah. I don't know. He was just a big guy. Maybe because of the husky guy. the big and tall man. So maybe I related better to him. I don't know, but something about the mask and the Slayer song and all that. So yeah, I don't know. He's up there for sure. He's yeah. It's like him and Michael Myers are I think as far as the killers go, it's like Mike Myers, Michael Myers, Jason Leatherface. As far as the series goes, it's Friday the 13th, and then TCM, Halloween is in there somewhere. So I don't know. He's just cool. He's just a badass dude. Um, the masks and shit. And I know we're talking the other ones, but
Oh,
part 2 mask.
part 2 right there. Very nice.
You got that mask. So yeah, I don't know, man. He's just something so cool, man. So badass. I mean, chainsaws in general. You grew up fearing chainsaws, and chainsaws are always brought out in pieces and Scarface and movies like that. So it's like fear the Saw. The Saw is family.
Saw is family. I completely agree with that. And you make some good points. I don't know. There is something endearing about Leatherface, and
Yeah.
you look at how the character differs in a lot of other films. Like it's not really the same character in every film. Like the original film, it really just feels like he's just having his home invaded and defending himself. He doesn't really feel malicious like he does in, let's say, the remake or the 2022, which we'll get into those. But I don't know. There's something about the kind of big guy and the fact that towards the end of the first movie, he's almost like playing the role of housewife with the makeup on. I think the mask you have behind you, that's the housewife Leatherface, with all the makeup and stuff. And they went overboard with that. And of course, the TCM4 movie where he's a full blown transvestite. I don't know though. It's just an interesting character that always kind of got me going. And I agree. I like that he's a little bit overweight and he's not Jason or Michael, or he's hard to compare. He really is a real antagonist. There's nothing.
He runs after your ass. He runs after your ass.
Sure, yeah. I don't know. There's something about Leatherface that I always kind of liked too. I'm in the same boat. Of the sequels, do you have a favorite? Do you have a least favorite? Where do you stand on the now, of course, I would assume the original's your favorite.
Yeah. No, you're right on that one for sure.
Of the sequels, favorite and a least favorite?
Two for sure, because that came out when I was a kid, and I think I told you that story. Me and my dad went to go see it at the theater, part 2, and she wouldn't let me in. She wouldn't let me in.
Man.
Absolutely, positively no children under 17. So we went down the street and saw Friday the 13th, part 6. So that's my kind of TCM part 2 memory. But 2 is definitely my favorite sequel. Least would probably have to be New Generation, because that's the one I haven't even really finished watching it yet. I just couldn't get through it. The Next Generation, whatever else it's called. Yeah, that'd probably be my least, I would assume, because I haven't finished it yet because I can't get through it.
Sure. So. No, that's a pretty. I mean, that one is pretty bad. I won't lie. I have some dumb fun with it, but it is a horrendously bad movie. It's one of those movies I watch and I'm like, how the hell did somebody make this? Like, how the hell did they release this? And I think the reason is because of Matthew McConaughey, Renee Zellweger. I really believe that's the only reason that movie got distributed and released, because they was on the shelf for over a year.
Yeah.
And then they were like, holy shit, McConaughey's big now, Zellweger's big now. Let's sell it with their names. And the atrocity that is that movie came out. But I don't know. I kind of have some dumb fun with it. McConaughey's chewing up scenery, so I enjoy it. I love TCM Part 2 as well. I think that's a great choice for the best sequel. I got to ask, I know that the original was re-released. The original Texas Chainsaw was re-released pretty much almost every year after it came out in 1974. Did you ever see the original film in a theater as a kid, or was it something you had seen on VHS or Laserdisc?
No, I didn't see it till probably high school. It's just one of the movies. Yeah, I heard about it, but I just never had the opportunity to watch it. I don't think I saw it until probably maybe like 8th grade, freshman year type of thing. Because I don't have any real young childhood memories about ever seeing it. So I have no idea when exactly it happened. But yeah, that was that's my probably around that time, probably around 13, 14-ish, whenever what age that is. I think. Sure. Yeah, no, I'd love to see it in the theater. That'd be great. But
yeah, I saw it around that same age too. And I actually had the privilege. They did a one night only 35 millimeter screening of that and Motel Hell back to back.
Yeah.
And man, I was so excited to go. And to this day, to me, of all the 35 millimeter screenings I've seen a lot of good movies on 35. I've been privileged to see so many good ones. Elm Street and the original Friday 13th, the original Carrie. I mean, so many good ones. But that movie on 35 millimeter is the way you're supposed to watch Texas Chainsaw Massacre, because it just adds to the gritty, the kind of yellow filter. I mean, it really, really adds. I remember at one point the reel broke and they had to fix the reel when we were watching it. That's how old the 35 millimeter. I swear to God, like it snapped during a chase scene when they're chasing Franklin and Sally through the woods, or just Sally through the woods, and it snapped and everybody started booing. They were like, hold on. 10 minutes later, and then the movie just abruptly started again with cheers. And
like you're watching this movie in school. Did you even have projectors in school? You probably did.
We had a guy would come in with a fucking, like a giant, like rolly thing and a big box TV on it with a like VHS slot. And they put in like, health class videos or shit like that. That was my generation. We had projector too. We had all that shit too, because by me, that for whatever reason, technology doesn't move along until like 5 years after it's already been introduced. I don't know why that is. But Master Fear says, love some TCM. Of course, me too. Us too. I think Texas Chainsaw is the most complicated timeline ever. No, there's so many reasons.
Don't even bother.
Yeah, no, it's weird. It's like Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3 doesn't connect to Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 at all. And then the fourth one doesn't connect to anything. Like, a lot of them barely connect. I've noticed that the poster for the original shows the villain Leatherface. Many original slasher movie posters of the 70s and 80s don't show the villain. That's true. Halloween doesn't show the villain. Friday the 13th just has the silhouette, so you don't see Mrs. Voorhees. Elm Street, I believe Freddy is kind of on the poster. But yeah, no, that's true. I love that poster. That's like a fucking like holy grail poster to me. The Saw is family. Hell yeah. TCM is the only franchise where every film except the remake is a direct sequel to the original. Yeah. And the only two that connect are the remake and the prequel. That's like the only two movies in the series that connect. Texas Chainsaw 3D is a reboot. 2022 is a reboot. In a lot of ways, The Next Generation's a reboot. It's so weird. It's all reboots. Yeah. I read that the character of Leatherface was inspired by the real-life killer Ed Gein, who was also the inspiration for Norman Bates, Buffalo Bill, and Silence of the Lambs. I know Ed Gein was a sick son of a bitch, but man, he inspired some badass horror movies. His Psycho, Silence of the Lambs, Texas Chainsaw Massacre is 3 of the best movies ever. Yep. I saw the OG Texas Chainsaw Massacre in a theater in 2020 when they were showing a lot of old movies because no new movies were releasing to theaters. That's really cool to see that in the theater, man. It was a majestic experience for me. King Negor's in the house. Corey. I just recorded with him over the weekend, man. So shout out to Corey.
Bring it.
Hell yeah. All right. So we can get in, I guess, to the original film right now. I'm talking about the idyllic summer afternoon drive that became a nightmare and became forever known as Tobe Hooper's The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Yes. Woo! Absolutely one of my all-time favorite, probably my second favorite horror movie of all time, right behind Dawn of the Dead. I adore this film. But raw thoughts on the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I know you said you were middle school when you saw it. Did it have that profound impact on you? And what of it makes you a big fan?
I mean, even at the older age, it still creeped me out. It was still fucking scary for the most part. I mean, I wasn't crying in my bed or nothing, but still, it was like kind of, where she falls into the house and the bones and all that shit, and the teeth and the shit hanging. I'm like, this is fucking creepy, and just the, because I saw it on VHS. So the imperfections and the graininess, that always added to stuff like that when you watch those old movies. Now they're all cleaned up and they're pretty and they look nice for sure, but you kind of miss something, in my opinion, about like when you watch an old movie and that graininess and the darkness and all that stuff. So yeah, I mean, it stuck with me for sure. It creeped me out. It became one of my favorite dudes. So yeah, man, it's fucking. I even got. Let me show you this real quick. Since you showed me yours, I'm going to show you mine.
Hell yeah!
Well, first of all, I had the fucking the Video Treasures one with that, the iconic art now, they have you know which one I'm talking about, with the eyes behind him. You know?
And he's in the middle with the chainsaw.
Yeah, I had that. Well, I got rid of it because I upgraded. So, and I got the original Laserdisc I had was the classic poster with her in the back, and him with the saw. But then what do you call it? Elite Entertainment, which was an awesome company back in the day, released this version. This was 2 discs, and there was actually stuff in there. They had blooper reel and outtakes and commentary, but when it opened up, it was just beautiful.
What?
I mean,
That is so sick, dude.
that is one of my favorites. That and my Criterion Halloween. I saved all these, and the picture was better than VHS, but still. But like I said, you like that, you miss that graininess and a little bit in some of them. So yeah, definitely made an impact on me, and definitely creeped me out, and definitely me wanting more.
Sure. I think a lot of people did. It's weird that this movie, like, it came out and it set the world on fire, and they would re-release it like every year in the cinema. And like, that's crazy. And I know they begged Tobe Hooper to make a sequel for years before he actually did it. And his biggest reason was always, you can't make a sequel to that movie. You really can't. I agree wholeheartedly with him. I honestly, there's a lot of the time where I think about this franchise, not that it's not a good franchise, because there are a lot of movies in it that I do like, but part of me thinks that this really should have been it, because it's really hard to follow this movie. Like Texas Chainsaw 2, it takes a completely different direction in like black comedy and the Breakfast Club poster. And, it still has gore. It still has some good special makeup effects. And, Tobe Hooper made a good sequel. But I think this movie right here, it's just the hardest movie to recapture and encapsulate the time that this movie is. To me, I consider this movie the biggest example of lightning in a bottle. Because Tobe Hooper was an up-and-comer at the time, low budget, all of these actors in it. Of course, Terry McMinn and Marilyn Burns, Paul A. Partain, a lot of them, Alan Zanziger, a lot of them feel not like actors, but just like real people that you would just see on the street. And I think that even adds to it. Of course, I think the whole look, the documentary style feel, the opening, the intro by John Larroquette, who, funny enough, John Larroquette does the intro for all 3 of these movies. We're doing the John Larroquette trilogy. So I forgot he did it for the 2022. I sat down to rewatch it, and John Larroquette, I was like, oh shit. I was like, that's right.
He's like, I'll take that money. I'll take that free money. Shit, yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Why not? I mean, he got paid infamously, only got paid with a joint to narrate for this film. I'm sure he got a lot more for the remake, and I'm sure he got a lot more for the 2022 movie. So good for John Larroquette, because he did
a pound of weed. A pound of weed for the second, and 3 pounds for the last one.
Sure. Let's hope so. I will never forget the first time I watched this movie. It was on a Saturday morning, and usually I save horror movies for late night, like 1, 2 a.m. I'm like barely awake, and then something will happen to wake me up and get me invested in the film. This was one I watched in the morning. And I remember my grandmother, back when she was alive, she would make me like a bacon, egg, and cheese for breakfast.
Nice.
And I watched this movie. It ended. Leatherface did his dance. And I remember that was one of the few mornings of my life where I didn't want breakfast. I was like, damn, it made me queasy. It made me like, damn, like, what a creepy ass film. And I immediately, I think a day later, watched it again. I was like, I can't get enough of this. Where's the sequel? And of course I watched the sequel and other sequels and stuff, but none of them.
You didn't want a 12-hour breakfast sausage that's been sitting on your plate in the heat?
No, not at all. That, and it's funny you mentioned that scene where she falls in all the bones. That fucking, and she starts gagging. She's like that fucking freaks me out to no end. Like, I remember watching it with my dad once upstate. We used to have an upstate place. I was like, want to watch Texas Chainsaw? He was like, no. I was like, come on, dude, don't be a wussy. We put it on, and that scene happened. He was like, turn this shit off. He was like, turn it off right now. And I said, how about Last House on the Left? And he's like, I've never seen it. About 30 minutes into that, turn this off, and then The Odd Couple went on until we fell asleep. So that was the compromise there. But to me, the biggest standout performance in this movie is actually not from the protagonist or the main memorable antagonist in Gunnar Hansen as Leatherface. It's from The Hitchhiker, Edwin Neal.
Yeah.
What do you think of that scene? To me, there's no bigger tone setter in any other horror film than that scene where, well, I think we just picked up Dracula.
Mm-hmm.
I love that fucking scene. What do you think of that scene, man?
It made you about as uncomfortable as a scene could make you.
Right?
Kind of remind me of my mom's brother, to be honest with you.
Oh shit, your uncle?
Well, a little bit. Well, you can call him my uncle, but
What would you call him?
yeah,
Hitchhiker?
technically, yeah. I just don't really talk to that side of the family, so
Not a problem. Not a problem.
But yeah,
if he's anything like this character, I don't blame you.
Yeah, definitely sets the tone, sets the mood. Holy shit, man!
For real,
and
man.
you're just as on edge as everyone in the truck, in the van. Like, what is this fucker gonna do? And then when he pulls out the thing, you're like, the knife. You're like, oh my god, now what? And then, he's just cutting himself. And then he whips out the other thing and cuts Franklin. It's like, oh, fuck, man, this guy's fucking nuts. It's like, and I never noticed until like later on that he does like a little. It must be some kind of code or wingding or some shit that he puts on the side of the thing. I keep looking for it somewhere else in the movie, like that sign. Have you ever seen anything like that? Or
so he marks them, and then I think they get to the gas station, and that's where Jim Seedow meets all of them. So I'm assuming that one of them washes it off, or like when they're whatever, that he must have saw it and was like, okay, like I got it. At least that's how I always interpret it.
I wonder if that means something or something we don't know or something we're supposed to know or what, but
oh geez, that I don't know. I'm not positive, but I that scene, it's just such a, oh my god, like what a better. There's no better way to open up your film, and for the whole psychology of the character explaining how the cows in the slaughterhouse would die better with being beaten repeatedly with sledgehammers as opposed to the air gun that
right.
Franklin suggests. Oh, I thought they boom shk, boom shk, boom shk, and fucking the hitchhiker was like, no, that gun's no good. They die better this way with the sledgehammer. My brother, we live just up the road. He is unbelievable. To me, it's like Oscar fucking worthy psychopath. And it's a good picture. And he cuts himself, then he cuts Franklin, and they get him out, and he's kicking the fucking van. And I don't know why, but to me, it always reminded me of like a demented James Franco. To me, that's what Edwin Neal looked like. It's a demented, like,
there you go,
James Franco on fucking acid or something. Just really creepy. And I believe that Edwin Neal was a war veteran. And, I don't know if he brought some of that with him, some of that, like, post-traumatic stress, but it really does shine in the performance. I think he does a great job. And I don't know, I really just like the whole grit and feel of this movie. It's funny you mentioned that cleaning it up takes something away. For the longest time, I held off on this Blu-ray. I was like, I want the old school. I had the old school DVD of this, and it was a shitty, scratchy copy. And I was like, that's how this movie is meant to be seen. Like, it's not meant to be brightened up or things like that. But I will say this is a fucking amazing edition. It really is still an effective movie. But I know what you mean. This is one where you could watch it on VHS, like the worst copy quality VHS. Or like you say, it's like watching with sunglasses on because it's so fucking dark.
Yeah, for sure.
It works for this movie. And I love, of course, the whole sequence where the kids go into Leatherface's house. And, the door slides open and just cracked over the head with the fucking sledgehammer. Dude. And to me, what does it is the twitch. Like, the guy starts twitching, kicking on the ground, pulled in, Leatherface slams the door. And it's just like.
Fucking iconic scene right there.
Bro, it's and so. Yeah. Nothing. It's. Right? It's just, I don't know. There's something to me about this movie that it's amazing is there's not much gore for a film called Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Right.
And there's not much music, which are two things that generally, Friday the 13th, gore and music. That's a big thing that sells Friday the 13th. Halloween, gore and music. Like, it's a big selling point for most horror films. But this film most of the music's not in it. There's hardly music at all in it. And then there's hardly any gore at all in it. It's very much suggested. And I think that's why it's so effectively scary all these years later. It truly is a terrifying film. What do you like this classic iconic tracking shot of Terry McMinn? Because my favorite shot of the movie.
I wish they had that shirt in Fat Boy size, but they don't. So, but
They don't.
no, that's like 2 or 3X, and I'm a little bit bigger than that. But a funny thing about you were saying about the music, how my friend in high school, this I've talked to him before. Actually, I just kind of started reconnected with him. The same dude I talked about. Remember, I said that he had a comp tape of kills. That's how I kind of saw like my first Fulci and Argento and shit. He just had a comp tape of just all gore and stuff. Well, he was just fun. He for some reason he bought a little Mickey Mouse, one of them little Mickey Mouse drum sets like for kids. You know, it's a
Sure.
little drum set. And I swear to God, the cymbal, and it's the exact same sound from Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And then boom, 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 boom. I would do the same sound with like the drum. I just put my finger on it and go boom, 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 boom. I said, the motherfucker did it have a Mickey Mouse drum set to do the soundtrack? You know, like they're gonna try and tell you it's all this stuff. I said, I think someone just bought the Mickey Mouse drum. It sounds, I'm like, dude, it's like you hear that? It's like that's a cymbal sound. Like, I don't know. My opinion, they used the Mickey Mouse drum set for half of that soundtrack.
Well, that's probably all they could afford with the budget that they had, you know? Corey says, even when the music we get is really just industrial noise. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, it's better that way. They die with the sledge. It's better that way. Oh, man, he's great. Yep, that was the signal, which begs the question, does Nubbins have to cut himself every time they have a new target? I don't know. I mean, maybe he used some of Franklin's blood. I mean, he cut him pretty good.
Well, you had to wonder about Franklin too in that scene. I'm like, is Franklin? Is he all there? Is he a threat? I mean, throughout the movie, like,
come on, Franklin, it's gonna be a fun. If I have any more fun today, I don't think I'm gonna be able to take it.
It's like
I fucking people have told me he's like the most annoying character.
Yeah,
I don't fucking see it at all. I don't really find anybody in this movie annoying. I don't. Do you?
No. Well, that's what we're gonna get into later with modern horror movies versus old horror movies and characters and yeah. But it made me wonder. Like, maybe Franklin's one of them? You know, maybe he's on the inside.
Well, they do suggest that they grew up there, right? Like they say, oh, you know, his grandfather used to carry Franklin down to the swimming hole when he was a kid. Like they theoretically, and not that they haven't gone there in other sequels. Like the Texas Chainsaw 3D is, of course, the do your thing, cuz, and she's, you know, of course, Leatherface's long lost niece or something. I don't know. Like they've definitely done that in other sequels. I am very happy they didn't do that here because obviously I think it would have fucking ruined the movie. But you know, that is what it is.
Maybe Franklin was in a wheelchair because he was a failed kill.
Jeez, I don't know. That would have been something dark.
He wandered off somewhere when he was like 3, and they grabbed him and they fucking broke his neck or their spine or some shit.
Leatherface was scared of him and just fucking crippled him with a sledgehammer.
He was the first victim, and he didn't succeed in killing him. He just paralyzed the poor guy from the waist down.
Yeah, no, and I don't know. There's just something about all the cast members, like I was saying before, that I love that they don't feel like actors at all. They really do feel like real people, and the way that they get picked off is just fucking horrifying. Of course, Terry McMinn.
They really weren't actors. Weren't they like all just like local like theater people and
mostly, and most of them didn't really go on to do all that much. Right. I mean, Marilyn Burns, she went on to do Eaten Alive with Tobe Hooper, which was his follow up to this. And she also did Future Kill, which was of course, Edwin Neal and her was like getting people from Texas Chainsaw, but nothing to do with it. A bad film from the 80s, Future Kill. But, you know, Terry McMinn didn't do much else. Danziger didn't do much else. Paul A. Partain, a couple cameos, but nothing much else. I don't know what it was, though. They all gave great performances because they all felt genuinely real. And, you know, that's why another big reason and factor why, to me, this movie is lightning in a bottle. I don't think this movie would have worked with more known actors. I really don't. Like, there's no like, oh, hey, that's Kevin Bacon, or oh, PJ Souls, or oh, Johnny Depp. You know, like how some of the other big mainstream original horror movie slashers have that like standout person that went, oh, that person went on to become famous. No, none of these people went on to become fucking famous. None of them. Yeah, it's just it really, to this day, I think works because of that. And of course, to me, the kill of the movie is Terry McMinn, you know, walking into the house. And of course, Leatherface gets her, grabs her as she tries to run away, and hangs her on the hook. And once again, you don't see it, but you
Right.
feel it, and the torment on her face as he revs up the chainsaw. And they try that in this remake, which we'll get into, and it didn't work for me at all. Her performance of just like in shock really gets me every time, man.
And I like gore. I like blood. I like gore. I like sick shit, but I don't miss it in this. That's for sure. The first time I saw it, I wasn't like, oh, this should have been bloodier. This should have been gory. Because whenever I saw it, whatever fucking because I wanted to see. I remember seeing the trailers for part 2, and I honestly don't think I saw part 1 yet. That's why I just wanted. I'm like, this looks great. Let's go see this. But 86, I would have been like 11. I don't think I saw the first one at 11. I really don't. So, but anyway, I don't miss it because at the time I saw it, I was probably watching like fucking, I'm sure I've seen Day of the Dead, Return of the Living Dead, shit like that. Dawn of the Dead, Reanimator, all that stuff. I'm like, and I love those movies, but I'm like, I'm not. Like, did you notice there's not a lot of blood in this? I'm like, fuck, I didn't even notice. I think I was just too freaked out and too like invested in like the whole story and like the surroundings and the scenarios and all that shit. Like, I guess there really wasn't a lot of blood in there. To honestly, I'm like, I didn't even notice.
Absolutely, and really, the only real chainsaw kill is during the night at dark, and it's hardly you could see nothing. But again, that works because it's like they had no budget for this. So if they had tried to do Savini effects before Savini, I don't know how well they would have worked. They probably would have looked like something like Herschel Gordon Lewis movies that, like I was talking about last week, and would not have aged well.
And how many people did you talk to, and they swear to Christ, you see that chainsaw go through Franklin, you see that hook go into her back, and blood and gore. And it's like, no, you don't. You don't see it. Like
exactly.
I saw you see him you see this, and you just see like. And that's it. You don't see penetration like Psycho. Same thing with Psycho. You're like, oh, you see him, you see him get stabbed, right? Like, no, you don't. You just see the shit, like the cuts and everything. You never see it go in.
No, not at all. And that's, I think, the testament of a truly great horror film. Sometimes is what you fill in with your imagination and
mindfuck you.
Yes, it mindfucks you, and you fill in the blanks that are horrifying with your own brain. And there's so few movies that can do that. And to me, this is really one of them that I don't have to see the hook go in her. It's just her reaction after, and Leatherface revving up that chainsaw. You get the idea. It really doesn't have to even go there for it to still be effective. And I think this movie is effective. Of course, I love the ending. Well, not the ending chase scene. I love that too. But when Leatherface is chasing Sally through night and through the woods and, back through the house, and she's going running out and stuff. And then that, of course, sets up to the infamous dinner scene, which to me, it's probably the most infamous and most ripped off scene in horror movie history. I would say, like, it is so ripped off. It is so, every time, any kind of slasher movie like this, like whether it be a Wrong Turn 2 or some of the other sequels with the dinner scene, it's just a staple. And I love it. She's, tied down via her hands, and they do all these uncomfortable close-up on her beautiful green eyes, and they're taunting her, will that grandpa have this one? And all the stories of how hot it was. It was like 120 degrees, depending on who you ask in that room. I don't know what it is. That scene is just the epitome of this movie. It's uncomfortable. It's unsettling. It's gritty. It's raw, but you don't see much. It's not like they crack her head open and drink her blood.
Right.
No, it doesn't happen. It's just screaming. It's constant screaming for like 15 minutes. And it's so unsettling, man. Yeah. Like, I love it. What do you think now of the Cook character? Because Jim Siedow, I think, was a fantastic actor. I wish he had done more. What did you think of his character? Because he really plays a bigger factor in the last third of this.
Well, to backtrack a bit, though, that fucking scene where she pops out of the freezer, I think that one stuck with me more than any other scene in the movie.
That's a great fucking scare, man.
You look between the music and the way she looks and the jump scare. I don't care how old you are. You're still gonna be like, Jesus Christ! I wasn't expecting that.
She flops out like a fish, like her arms.
And then that turns to what's his face with the best scream in male scream in horror. Yeah, and I guess they said that scene he didn't see him. So he really was. That was like the first time seeing him. He really did scare the shit out of him.
He flinched.
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh shit!" Like
that was like his true reaction. Mine too. I'd probably scream like a little girl too. This big guy coming. Anyway, the cook. I love him. I mean, am I supposed to? I don't know. He's pretty fucking sadistic. He's pretty, but he is very entertaining and very crazy too. But yeah, he's and to have that same character come back in part 2, like another version of him, a more funnier
he's great
version.
in the second one. He's so funny.
Oh my god, so good. But yeah, the cook for sure. I think between him and the hitchhiker are like the two top characters in that movie for me.
It's so funny, and Leatherface is the most remembered, but I don't think any of the other movies have that same unsettling feel from the antagonist as this one does. Like Jim Siedow, he's like at first he's like, "Oh, hold on there, hold on." He's like, "I'm gonna bring the truck around. It's okay."
Yeah.
And then he puts the potato sack over her head, and he's beating her with the broom,
Yeah.
and then he gets in, he's almost reprimanding them, like, "Look what your brother did to the door." I like that they add in that he doesn't take pleasure in killing.
Mm-hmm.
I just take no pleasure in killing.
Right.
I'm just the cook. And the hitchhiker keeps reminding him of that. He's like, "You're just the cook. Like, shut up. Like, what you think does not matter. Me and Leatherface do all the work." I love their interaction. And to me, what's brilliant is how they talk about who Grandpa used to be.
Yeah.
They're talking about that he killed like 60 people in 5 minutes in an open field, and he would have killed more if they got the beeves out of the way faster. Like, for some reason, every time he tells that story, I imagine like some fucking crazed, deranged motherfucker with a chainsaw killing 60 people in an open field, like a video game or something. To me, that story is just haunting. Grandpa was the best. And we're going to let him have this one, and they're holding her down and she's screaming, and they keep trying to have John Dugan hit her with the hammer. To me, it's just like every fucking decision they made was the right decision here. They did I have no problem with this movie at all. Not one nitpick, gripe. I think it's all perfect.
I love her reaction when he first shows up, when he's, he goes and gets the truck, and she's like, what are you doing? Like, you just like, it slowly builds up. You're like, oh, this guy's in on it too, You're like, oh shit, she's fucked now. Now, just hold on a minute. Like, what are you doing? And like, man, that's a great scene too, because that makes you uncomfortable too,
Yeah.
But fuck, it's such a good movie for sure.
It's a masterpiece. It really is. Like, to me, it's like, and I don't know how where you stand on this. I like, people always say, "Oh, what is the best slasher movie?" And this movie comes up. I don't even know if I consider this a slasher movie. Like, to me, it has the elements, but it's so much more than just a slasher movie for me.
Right.
But like, I would honestly put this over the original Halloween and the original Nightmare on Elm Street. Like, to me, this movie is scarier than both of them. And for some reason, like, it has just stood such a great test of time. Like, it never gets old to me. Like, every time I watch it, to me, it's still as effective as the first time I watched it. I don't know where you stand on that. Would you put this up there? Like, where would you put this among the greats?
I'd probably put it at a 9.9 out of 10. I'd put Halloween at a 10, the original one, because when you watch Halloween at Halloween time, it's just a whole thing for me. It's cool outside. You smell the leaves. It's like more than just a movie watching thing. It's like a whole experience with me. This movie, you can watch anytime. It does help though when it's hot and shitty outside, like it is.
Exactly, yeah.
But I'd say it's like a 9.99 out of 10, and then the original Halloween probably a 10 out of 10.
Sure. Yeah, no, I think that's a fair rating. And I don't know, there's just, like, to me, the finale here is just amazing too. And it's arguably my favorite ending to any horror movie.
Yeah.
It's, of course, that she jumps out the window and, Leatherface starts to chainsaw and the hitchhiker's just slicing her. And he's purposely not tackling her down. He wants to torture her.
Yeah, right.
And of course, he gets run over in the middle of the road. And that guy, the truck driver kind of is the hero of the movie.
Yeah.
And it's funny, like he doesn't have any lines. He's sort of the hero of the movie. As Leatherface tries to get him, he throws the wrench at him, falls, chainsaws his leg a little bit. Sally hops in the truck, and then Leatherface misses and does his dance, and we fade to black. I think it's one of the best endings in horror history. It's just, it has everything to it. It's exciting. It's kind of a happy ending where she gets away, but she's also sort of lost her marbles as she's laughing at Leatherface as he kind of raises his chainsaw.
It just ends. You're like,
cut.
Is that it? I'm like,
I love it. I think it's just such a great ending, man.
I've searched and I've searched and I've searched and I've asked people, and the only person you could probably really ask about it is Toby Hooper himself, and unfortunately he's no longer with us. But my mom said she saw it in the theater, probably I think with my dad. She swears that there was a scene at the end where she's in like an insane asylum. And now they've referenced that in other movies, like She Went Crazy, and then I think in part I forget which one it was. Don't they like it's not her, but she swears. I've read books. I'm like, Mom, are you sure? She's like, I swear there was a scene where she's in like an insane asylum, like in a straitjacket, like all catatonic and shit. I'm like, I don't know if it's something else she saw. She said she saw it at the theater though, and I think she was pregnant with me when she saw it, which kind of explains a lot.
Yeah, no, that's a movie that makes you sick to your stomach while you were in her stomach.
I'm sure she saw it. They saw it at one of the second run theaters. So the second run theaters, when I was younger, it was a good 6 or 7 months after the release when they showed it. So it's very possible because I was born in September '75, and when did this come out?
I think I want to say August of '73. This came out. Maybe September of '73. I don't know. Somebody could check us on that. I don't
know. Maybe they saw a reissue of it. Maybe they redid it. I don't know. The dates are kind of wonky, and it's my mom. So.
Well, they did re-release this movie a ton. Like that's what this movie is notorious for. Like, they would do it for double feature Grindhouse. I looked up some of the movies this played along with. Played along with The Hills Have Eyes, which could you imagine seeing that fucking double feature? Like that, holy shit! Same set designer too for both those movies. Great gritty raw '70s movies. Legacy of Satan, which I have seen, and I remember it being quite bad, like a really bad Satan movie. That it played alongside that. This played alongside a lot of movies when it was re-released year after year after year. I think 1980, it got re-released and made crazy money, and they were like, "Man, we got to get Toby to do the sequel." And then it wasn't until like '86 when he did do the sequel. But I don't know. I think this is definitely a perfect horror film for me. I mean, I adore this movie. It's my second favorite all-time horror movie.
We'd have to check the date to see if it was re-released between January and September of '75.
Oh, we could. We definitely could. I don't know. If anybody wants to help us out, that would be nice. Grande's shirt foreshadows her death by showing her bare back. Of course. Absolutely. Ripped off with love sometimes, not love. The dinner scene, definitely. Yeah, no, it's a scene that's like, it's so iconic. I can see why everybody wants to have a little bit of a piece of it, but it is what it is. It's a good knife. It's a real good knife. And shout out to the truck driver. Yeah, the real hero of the movie. That's right. That guy is the hero. There's nobody.
He does conventions, that guy, or used to.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's awesome.
Why not? Awesome. What's his face? Moran does fucking conventions for $30-40 a signature.
Is he really?
Yeah, from Halloween. Tony Moran.
Oh, Tony Moran. I think it's Moran. Fucking Tony Moran is an asshole.
America's sweetheart.
Yeah, for real. The cook was awesome, driving her in the truck, saying everything is going to be okay while poking her with. Yeah, no, he's just. That's torture, man. I swear every time people abbreviate this movie to TCM, I don't think of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I think of Turner Classic Movies. True. Yeah. No, I've definitely been there. I never thought TCM was a slasher. Neither do I. Like, to me, it's so much more than a slasher. It's like a psychological horror movie in a lot of ways. But I don't know. It's one of a kind. It really is. I've noticed that the trailer, the third film, is an homage of the story of King Arthur. That's right. When the chainsaw flies out of the water and Leatherface catches it and turns. That's my favorite trailer of the series. Yep. Very true. I think Tobe Hooper was an unforeseen genius director. He was very capable and smart director, but Hollywood always put this as his pinnacle movie. Well, it was. I mean, it really is his pinnacle movie. He never made anything even close to this, but like, I don't think anybody ever has anyway. Like, that's how great this movie is. I only think there's one horror movie in the history of movies that is better than it. So it's like, I don't know. To me, you can't even make a sequel or a remake or a reboot. It's just that they all pale in comparison. Ryan Snyder's in the house. What's up, motherfucker?
Yo!
What's up, brother Ryan? How's everything going, man? Hope all is well. And they always kind of wanted him to make Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 3000. Yeah, they just wanted him to make Texas Chainsaw movies the rest of his career. He wasn't interested. And I'm happy that he didn't do that. It came out in 1974. I'm not sure the actual month and day. Yeah, no, neither am I. The poster for Part 2 plays homage to the Breakfast Club. Yeah, absolutely. I love the Breakfast Club poster there. But, here you go. It very well could have been in a theater in January to September of 1975 because this was done by a major studio. Not done by a major studio, so licensing to theaters was cheaper. Yeah, the Mafia helped fund this movie. Cool enough. And that's why the original One Sheet poster goes for crazy money is because it's like it has the Mafia stamp on it. So I don't know.
I mean, I have no doubt my mom saw some goofy fucking movies while she was pregnant with me with my dad. So,
I don't know. I would like to think that reel exists somewhere. I don't know if anybody, could confirm it. I honestly couldn't. I don't know. I've never heard that. I've heard that for The Shining. I've heard that that at the end of The Shining, there's a scene with Shelley Duvall in the bed and she's gone nuts. I've heard that. That is like apparently was only seen once at one screening, and Kubrick cut it out himself, and that was the end of that.
That was actually on one of the featurettes on the next one.
Sure. I've never heard of the scene with her in an asylum. I haven't either, honestly, until you said that.
And I can't find it. It may have been another movie. I have no idea.
Yeah, no, I'm not sure either. But I guess that could bring us to the great debate. Yes.
I gotta go. I'll see you.
Oh no, you don't. This is the whole fucking show. Oh, exit stage left. Of course, in the year 2003, this was the movie that kicked off the big remake trend. This is Marcus Nispel's The Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2003 remake. AJ Zetro, this is going to be fun, my friend. This is
10 out of 10.
Oh no! Oh geez, I'd explode on my own show. 10 out of 10. Is that the edition that pulls out like it's a chainsaw?
Yeah.
Do show.
The little tin.
You remember the tins? I used to have the Hellraiser tin, and it had Hellraiser 2, just the disc in it.
I do.
I'm a
I showed you the Maniac one with his head with the CD.
Oh, that was GCC. That was good, clean comedy, man. I love the Maniac disc.
I mean, that's pretty cool. It's a big chainsaw.
That is fucking really cool. I feel like they don't do editions like that anymore.
No.
Like now it's like, I don't know, everything's so like they want it to fit on your shelf. It's like, no, it can be a fucking thing I can pull out into a chainsaw, man. Like,
evidence envelope with pictures. It's a fun release for a fun movie.
Oh, geez. All right. So I won't lie. This is a movie I did not see during its initial run. I mean, I might have been at the ripe old age of like 7 when this came out. I saw this much later and went into it with high hopes, considering all the praise I heard, and I was sorely let down. But I know you're a fan, so let's start off the debate slow and steady. First time viewing this movie, do you remember? Did you see this in the theater? What were your initial thoughts, and what are your thoughts as of today?
I did not see it in the theater. I think I just saw the DVD, and I think I got it for Christmas or something. I'm like, oh, it's a pretty cool release. I never did get to see that. And I don't know, man. It was fun to me. It was, maybe if this happened after all those remakes and reboots and all that shit happened, I may have had a different feelings for it. But I don't know. I had fun with it. Because I don't think it was really that bad. And holy shit, but rewatching it, I haven't watched it in a while. It's fun. I mean, it's definitely not going to take the place of the original,
No.
And holy shit, watching it though, because it was 2003. I'm saying if this was any later, this would have been a Rob Zombie movie. I mean, it reminds me a lot of like the whole Devil's Rejects type of thing.
Do you think he should have directed this? Because I sort of do. I'm on that camp where if anyone should have directed a remake of the original, it would have been Rob Zombie. I think he would have done a much better job than what he did with Halloween.
And I think he would have got it too, because I think it's the same year that The House of a Thousand Corpses came out.
Yes.
So he had no chance, obviously. But if this would have happened a couple years later, I think so. But then we may never got Devil's Rejects. It's you know how that shit happens in life. But I mean, they got the hat, they got the country music, they got not country music, the Southern rock music in there. They got the greasy, grimy, dirty, sweaty, smelly people. like this is like a Rob Zombie movie before it was a Rob Zombie movie, you know?
Sure.
But, I mean, I don't know. And the director they got, and he, like you always say before, they pick these directors and they just get caught in this this thing of just remakes, you know. It's like and they vortex of remakes and they can't get out of it because he remade like a Frankenstein, I think it was, and Friday the 13th and Conan.
Friday the 13th, Conan the Barbarian, and a lot of music videos for like Mariah Carey, and like that's all he really did up until this point was like music video director.
Yeah, and he's out of it now. For the last thing I read, he's retired and he does like I forgot, I don't know what, real estate or some shit now. So he had a good run, but yeah, it's another guy that got caught in the remake fucking tornado and he couldn't get out of it. So, but I don't know. I thought it was an Arlie Ermy. Come on, man. If you don't like the movie, you got to at least like Arlie.
I like Arlie, but man, it's just the character from Full Metal Jacket. Like it's like I'm watching it, I'm like, this is I might as well watch Full Metal Jacket. Like it's not, and I don't even see Arlie Ermy. It's just him playing that character. It's like, oh, okay. Or I'm sorry, I see Arlie Ermy. I don't see Sheriff Hoyt or whatever his name is, or Hewitt or whatever the hell. I just kind of, I don't know. That's my only. He's not bad. He's fun. Arlie Ermy's great. Right. I mean, I like Arlie Ermy in anything. It's just like, geez, they didn't really give him much of a character to be at. He's just
that was
you son of a bitch. I will shoot you in the fucking face. Like, that's basically his character.
I always got a kick out of just the way he talks to people because I'd like to talk to people like that. Get the fuck out of it! You're like, out of my face. Come on, asshole, grab that. You know,
I will cut off your head and shit down your neck. Like, yeah, he is a fucking crazy bastard, man. I believe he was a drill sergeant for real.
He was, yeah. He was.
But yeah, no. For me, I watched this. I remember renting this and being ecstatic because everybody was like, Grande of all, you know, there's a lot of bad remakes out there, but this is a really good one. It's up there with Dawn of the Dead remake, and it's a really, really solid remake. The Blob, The Thing, like this is right there with them. And I watched this, man. I remember renting it at like a DVD rental place. And man, I was so disappointed. I still am to this day. I really am. This is the movie that is responsible for starting that remake tornado that you mentioned. This is absolutely the movie that got that snowball rolling, and it just fucking tumbled probably into the late 2000s, even the early 2010s, that remake train. And all these platinum Dune movies where it looks like the movie has just an awful fucking dark greenish yellow Instagram filter on it. It's just ugly, but not in the gritty way, just in a straight up ugly way to me. The actors in this, they look like they're straight out of a fucking Abercrombie and Fitch fucking catalog. Fucking Pepper and Kemper and fucking Jessica Biel. Jessica Biel's looking good. I mean, her yits are on display. That is the biggest positive of this movie.
There we go.
At least you have some eye candy. And it's like holy shit. You know, she's like 21 at the time of this. So, I mean, she was looking great. I will say that is my biggest positive of this movie. But right off the bat, and I know a lot of people seem to like this. I know I'm in the minority, so I'll preface by saying for people in the chat, I know I'm in the minority of this debate. Right. The Hitchhiker, instead of doing Edwin Neal, which I agree, you can't redo Edwin Neal.
Right.
They have this woman who escaped them. She's walking down the road. Apparently, he's holding a fucking gun in her snatch. And gets in the fucking car, and they're driving, and you're going the wrong way. Like Plane Train's not over. You're going the wrong direction. She fucking blows her head off, and they have Daniel Pearl returning to cinematographer. He does the shot through her mouth, and I know people fucking freak out.
And the far away scene with the van.
Yeah.
The same scene.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool trick. I don't know though. To me, it doesn't give any kind of an unsettling feel like the original does. And I don't think anything does.
No.
That's a big thing. Like, to me, maybe this is just a movie that you cannot remake for me. Like, you can do your black comedy sequels. You can do trying to capture the same feel like Texas Chainsaw 3 does. But to me, it's like, I don't think you can recapture or remake this particular movie. I really don't. Like, you can't improve upon perfection to me. And that's what this movie is. So maybe that's a big reason as to why I don't like it. Another big reason, the family members. In the original, we had, 3, maybe 4, including Grandpa, even though he was fucking basically a corpse.
Yeah.
Why are there 30 fucking family members in this? You got the kid from the Ring remakes running around with a fucking bad buck-tooth prosthetic in. Earl, Leatherface gonna come get y'all. You've got this fucking bitch with no eyebrows who stole this woman's baby, who gives Leatherface an origin. Oh, he was just a quiet little boy, and everybody made fun of him because he had a skin disease and he ain't got no nose. I'm sitting there, I'm like, what? Somebody fucking punch this bitch out and tell her to grow some eyebrows. And you got the fucking tea lady who's like 500 pounds. Oh, my. Why are there so many fucking family members? There's the guy with no legs. I wonder what happened to his legs. Of course, you get the fucking answer in that prequel.
Yeah.
I just, there's too many family members in this. It's almost like we know we can't do what they did in the original, so we'll just throw 10 of them in there. And to me, it's just like, I don't give a fuck about any of them, man. What did you think about the alternate family members? I didn't give a shit.
Yeah, it diluted it a little bit, that's for sure, because you get a more closer knit thing in the original than this other one is kind of spread out. But it's that's the thing though with these remakes. And just think about this. Just think about what remakes and redos were yet to come. This probably isn't so bad now, is it?
Oh well, okay. Is this worse than Elm Street? No. Is this worse than The Fog? No. But like, this got the ball rolling, and I would say this is one of the worst remakes out there. I really do, because compared to the original film, I think it's a fucking disgrace. Like, it really is. It really, really is. Like, where are my positives? I really don't have that many. Jessica Biel's Yitz, that's a positive, I would say. The characters, not memorable. You remember them because they all have shitty names, and they're all yelling at each other. Kemper! Fucking one of them is called Pepper. Pepper gets fucking killed. I don't know. And Leatherface in this film, I don't think Andrew Barnarski did a bad job, but did you know who the original choice of Leatherface was going to be?
I do, and I forgot.
So one of my all-time favorite action actors, I pulled this out, Mr. Dolph Lundgren. He was going to be Leatherface, and he had to pass because he was obviously want to take some time off to spend time with his family. Could you imagine if Dolph Lundgren had been Leatherface in this? Like, to me, that would have been the coolest shit ever, man. Like, I'm a Dolph Mark, so if he was Leatherface, I would have been all for it. I don't think Andrew Barnarski does a bad job, though. Do you?
No. I think he did a good job. They actually had to pad him, too, from what I read. That wasn't all him. They still needed to pad him up, so they would have really had to fucking pad up Dolph Lundgren, I think.
Yeah, because he's not fat at all. He's
that tall either, is he?
Sure, yeah, he's a big fucking Dolph is a big, muscly dude.
Is he?
Yeah, Barnarski's, a little bit more of the Leatherface body type, but still, I think that would have been a really, really cool Leatherface. I just think that would have been awesome. But I don't know, like,
the mask was shitty. I didn't like the mask that much.
The mask is terrible in this. It's just
I like the mask of fucking Kemper better.
I thought that scene was interesting, and he's basically taunting Jessica Biel with the fucking boyfriend's face. I was like, okay,
that was scarier. Should have ran around the whole movie with that thing on.
Weird, that shitty porn stash that he fucking had. Yeah, I don't know. The violence in this movie, I don't know. Also, I think it really loses the psychology of the original movie. Like, the whole idea of they died better that way. That whole psychology mentality, it's not in this movie. It's just sort of run of the mill. It really is. Like, it's the guy banging on the floor. He's coming, and Leatherface busts through the door. the Leatherface character is much more, of a killer in this. It's not like the innocent Gunnar Hansen Leatherface that was just like, what the fuck are these people doing in my house? Yeah. This Leatherface is much more, I'm after you.
This is more towards a slasher, I guess you could say.
Yes. And I don't know, maybe I just didn't like to see the original film turned into that. I mean, I don't know. Did you enjoy the whole finale with her rescuing the baby? And like, oh man, I don't know. I just don't care for this one, man. I
like when she ran his ass over. That was kind of fun.
Yeah, no, and he deserved that character. Totally deserved that. I think that it's good that this didn't set up for a sequel bait, right? Because she did cut off Leatherface's arm.
Right.
She killed Arlie Ermy. I appreciate that it wasn't like sequel. Granted, I know the final scene is Leatherface kills these two like cops, and then it's like no one has heard from them. The case is still open. Leatherface doesn't have a fucking arm anymore.
That part was cool. That part scared the shit out of me when that first happened.
Yeah. I don't know. Like
it was fun. Like I said, it was a long time ago. It was very early on, and maybe I was just looking for something different, something new. I don't know, but they do that thing like they did with Evil Dead and with Friday the 13th. They call it a remake, but there's no characters in there from the original. They don't use any of the original characters. There's no Sally. There's no Franklin. There's no Jerry. There's a Sally-like person. There's it's like, well, is that like a little loophole they do where it's like, oh well, it's not really. You don't want like a shot for shot remake either, but it's like a loophole where they say, well, it's just kind of like our own thing, but it is kind of a remake, but it's kind of not. Like, I think that's how they get out of it. These fucking places they do this shit nowadays. But
yeah, I don't know. Like, to me, also in this film, they're really barely cannibals. Like, are they even cannibals in this one? I don't. Like, there's not really a mention of, we're going to eat this motherfucker. Like, not really. There's no dinner scene, which granted, like I said, it's been the most ripped off thing ever. There's no dinner scene in this. Yeah. And I will say that the prequel, it has the dinner scene, and it's not that bad. Jordana Brewster's sitting at the head of the table looking beautiful, and she goes, I got a question for the table. Do you guys fuck all your cousins or just the ones you find attractive? I would have marked out if that was in this. I think that was a very well-written line. This, though, it just doesn't have much of a personality to me. It's just very run-of-the-mill, man. There's just not much to run home about. Like, I know people are, that Grande, don't you love that they play Leonard Skinner? They're going to a Leonard Skinner concert. They went to Mexico to pick up weed. What does that have to do to any? Like, it doesn't add to this. I love Leonard Skinner, but that doesn't have fucking shit to do with this movie. Like, all right, I like Sweet Home Alabama, but it doesn't make this a good movie. Come on.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, and there are nods, like you said, like they got the original cinematographer to come back. They got John Larroquette to come back. They're trying to recapture that feel, and I just don't think it's recapturable. I don't think if Tobe Hooper himself remade it, shot for shot, that you could recapture it, because it really was a time capsule of the 1970s.
True.
Like, that's why I love the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's distinctly 1970s, and it's unsettling, and the no music and the fucking no-name actors. To me, seeing actors that look like they're fucking in an Abercrombie and Fitch catalog put into a movie with Leatherface, that takes me out of it. I can't lie. It's just like, I don't know. I don't really care to see them. But
well, you saw it then. So how? Because it came out in 2003. What year would you say you saw it?
I probably saw this around middle school, because I saw the original in middle school, and then I saw the sequels. I saw 2, 3, 4, and then the fifth movie of the franchise is the remake. And I was excited to see I was like, because everybody was like, oh, it's good, it's good. And then maybe I went in a little overhyped. Maybe I went in, I don't know. It was a big letdown for me. Like, it just, I don't know. There's nothing really special about it. Like, okay, some of the torture scenes, you have a guy, he gets his leg cut off and Leatherface puts salt on it.
Yeah.
Okay. From that though, I don't know if you felt this. I don't feel the same as when Terry McMinn is on the hook, or when fucking, a guy gets clocked with this, or the jumping out of the freezer, or I don't know. To me, it feels so fucking flat as to what that original movie was. And also the scene where they're almost introducing Leatherface, where like he's walking past the camera, and it's like, it's like, okay, Leatherface is coming in soon. And all the peepholes through the walls. That's not Leatherface, man. Like, I don't know. Granted, they got Leatherface more right than the next movie we're going to talk about, where Leatherface is Jason Voorhees. I don't know what the fuck they did with this next movie, but I don't know. Like, to me, I just find this movie to be a little bit overrated. I really do. Like, I don't think it's like, I do think it's a terrible movie. I really do. But is it as the worst of the remakes? No, but it's up there for me. I really would say that. I don't know. I don't have like you say it's fun. What would you say this is more fun than like Texas Chainsaw 3D or like I don't find it that fun. I think it's kind of bleak boredom as opposed to bad dumb fun. I don't see much dumb fun here. I don't know. Do you though? If you do, please explain.
Maybe just because at the time, because a lot of shit hasn't happened yet, a lot of stuff hadn't come out yet. I don't know. Maybe it's just grandfathered into me when I first saw it. I liked it. I didn't think anything over great. It was like great or anything really bad about it. Yeah, I mean, if it came out now, I may think a little differently. But at the time, I don't know, like I said, it was just fun. It was just a horror movie and something to add to your collection, I guess,
Yeah.
But I mean, and as time goes on, they do get worse in general. Because this was a time where you it's like I don't want to see you didn't feel sorry for him. You didn't want him to die, but you didn't really feel like anything because they were, like you said, they're actors. That's how you feel. In the 70s and 80s, you felt like, oh, these are kids. You kind of feel bad, and nowadays you want to see these assholes die because they're usually assholes.
Yeah,
this was the time
new movie. The new movie, they're assholes for sure.
This was the time though where you're kind of like, you could go either way. Like whatever. They're just victims, just fun. Something put gore effects on. So I don't know, man. It's like, I don't know. It was fun at the time, and it's still fun now. But it could be worse. It could be better, but it could be worse. So.
Sure, I would agree with that. I think it's funny. You look at this director, and we were talking about how he fell down the remake rabbit hole.
Mm-hmm.
The Friday the 13th remake. Now, I know a lot of people hate that too. I think that is more passable than this, even though same director, similar style. The reason being is that Friday the 13th, at least that formula, it's boobs, blood, and mayhem. It's a copyable formula. And that movie, the Friday the 13th remake, whether you love it or hate it, it had a lot of nice looking women yitties. It had some gore. It had mayhem. It had the goods.
All shit on nowadays.
I really don't think it's a bad movie, the 09 Friday the 13th. I think he fit better making a remake like that than this. I think this would have been Rob Zombie's time to shine. Because everything that motherfucker made around this time, whether it be House, Thousand Corpses, which sat on the shelf for 3 years, Rejects in 05. To me, Rejects is more of a movie that feels like the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre as opposed to this. I think he would have been the guy to do this. Not Halloween, but this. Like in a perfect world, I would have liked to have seen Rob Zombie's The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I think he would have done a much better job because at the end of the day, too, this also does feel that Michael Bay stench on it. There's nothing in this that's like fucked up or anything like that. Like there's no scene where you're like, it's kind of a movie that plays it safe.
Hollywood.
I don't know. I don't really, for Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I don't really feel it works. I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe I just expected more from all the hype because the people, I think, unanimously seem to like this movie. I'm in the minority.
I'm not going to rate it like a 9 or 10, but and going back to the Friday the 13th, and by 09, that was the time where things started to switch, where you started to hate the fucking kids and you want them to die.
Yes, and you had all the My Bloody Valentine remake and the fucking Elm Street and Last House on the Left, and like everything was being fucking remade. Like this was the movie that started that trend. So I sort of blame it for that too. Granted, that's not something I should blame the movie for. I mean, it probably would have happened otherwise.
Right.
Dawn of the Dead was the following year, but I don't know. It's just another notch of this movie where I'm like,
it did happen. It did happen. What, 2 more times, right? Since Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah. Question though, before we move on, thoughts in the beginning, and also we have 100 comments. So I want to make sure we get some of them.
Bring them.
Ring them. Okay. After the comments, I want to hear your thoughts on the beginning, the prequel, because I'm interested. I like that far better. Jessica Biel, swing. Love her. She's looking good in this. I think the remake is really good, and not just because Jessica Biel is in it. See, I would say she's the biggest positive. Although her character is kind of dumb.
Yeah.
Like Arlie Ermy, there's a point where the guy has a gun to his head, and she's like, "Don't shoot him." I'm like, this guy's been fucking drill sergeant yelling at you, threatening to kill you. You got to kill his ass. I don't know. I agree with Erica Learson. Shoot his dumb ass. The remake is a pretty vicious movie and has some great gore. Okay. And wow, this is coming from someone who the original is his favorite film. I was going to say Zombie did remake TCM. It's called House Thousand Corpses.
Yeah, right.
It's the most similar to the original Texas Chainsaw, and I would say Texas Chainsaw 2 with all the colors and Bill Moseley, and I don't know. It's just something about it. I agree. I love House of Thousand Corpses. It's a very, very fun movie. In the trailer for the remake, I love the song, which is called the Siren Song. Yes, and that's not in the movie or on the soundtrack, funny enough. I made a mental note to mention that. Thank you for reminding me. I just think Rob Zombie should stay away from everything. There's some people that like forever hate him. I think he would have worked much better than Marcus Nispel here. I really do. I for what it's worth, I think he would have made a better Texas Chainsaw movie. Arlie Ermy is fantastic in this. Dolph Lundgren, such a shame we did not get to see him as Leatherface. That would have been awesome because he was the original choice. I agree wholeheartedly. Like, I would have a soft spot for this movie if Dolph was Leatherface, and just because I'm a big fan. I'll forgive you for not liking the remake. Right? Thank you. No, I appreciate it. I know I'm in the minority. Please, I don't mean to offend anybody. I'm being honest. I never cared for it. Even as a middle school, when I saw it, I was like, what the fuck is the hype of this? I didn't get it. I still honestly don't. You know it's all good. Absolutely. I hope for all do like the movie, but it's detriment. Sorry, geez. And I'm an English major, and I fucking didn't even. It does feel like the studio version of it. It does. And to me, it's like Texas Chainsaw Massacre shouldn't feel fucking Hollywood, man. Like, I don't know, it just shouldn't. Some people can seal on their body, others can seal in their body. Yeah, no. In the only remake worse than Elm Street is the remake. The remake of Martyrs is fucking terrible. I would agree with that too.
Ain't bother.
Good for you. Do not bother. I promise you. You're not. I'm waiting for Grande to explode. Honestly, I might explode more with the 2022. Dolph Lundgren at his peak for Rocky IV stood at 6.
Oh, okay.
If he dies, he dies. I must
saw you.
Yeah. I must saw you in half. I would have killed to see that. Oh, very cool. Oh my god, that's all. Wait, which movie is that from? Is that
the original?
Dude, that is badass.
Remember these? And he talked.
Dude, you have the best collectibles. I'm jealous, man.
I know. We can have playtime.
Dude, for real. A play date. Death Central. Damn, I'm late, bro. My opinion on this. Good fun time, but nothing incredible. I guess that's about AJ's thoughts. Welcome, Death Central. Hope all's well with you. You just have to go into the remake knowing that they couldn't remake the OG and they knew it too, so they didn't. Okay. To my defense, I'm glad they didn't do a shot for shot. I'm glad they didn't do a shot for shot.
Right.
But to me, it's
like
also fairly, it's fairly standard. It just is. Like, I don't see anything to run home about. Like, to me, the Dawn of the Dead remake, which I don't know how you feel about that. That's a movie that, okay, the zombies run. Yeah, I like it too. The zombies run. It has that filter, that like yellow filter over the movie, like Saw and a lot of movies in the early mid 2000s have. That movie, it got the humor right. It got the characters right, the gore, the intensity. That movie got it. It took the things from the original that worked and the things that it changed, it worked. To me, Dawn of the Dead is a far superior remake than this is. This one I don't know, very lackluster. I've seen so many bad movies that this is considered good. Well, no, I don't know if it's, I don't know. To me, it's bad, but I'm not trying to change anybody's opinion here. What they should have done was make All American Massacre. Well, that's to this day never been released. The whole, Bill Moseley was going to be in it, and there's stock footage on the internet of it, but it's never been released. It never probably will be, unfortunately. Hey, Grande, I don't like it too much either. Which one? You're talking about the Chainsaw remake? Because I don't like it. Red Rusty's in the house. Rusty, what's up, man? A horror sin, but I've never been into the TCM franchise, but I was talked into buying the TCM remake, Leatherface, and the beginning, which I ended up liking a lot. Okay, welcome to the graveyard, Mr. Rusty. Mateo's in the house. Ciao, Grande. Better late than ever. Welcome, my friend. Good to see you on the show. Junebug, not to plug myself, but my review of 2022 is I'm being lazy to add sequel The subtitle is the greatest review on YouTube. Well, I don't know. It sounds like you're plugging yourself a little bit, my friend. If you guys ever listen to White Zombie's cover of I'm Your Boogeyman, they play the sound clip from the original Halloween where the mean kids are teasing Tommy. Okay. Hash Brown release All American. They should release All American Massacre. But before we get into 2022, thoughts on the beginning. Do you like the prequel?
I haven't watched it in a long time, to be honest with you. For what I remember, yeah, I liked it. I mean, like I said, I like them all for the most part, except for Next Generation or whatever the fuck it was called. You know, three. For some reason, whenever I tried watching 3, it was like really dark. I don't know why. I know it's been.
It is. It's a dark movie.
Is it? It's been re-released on Blu-ray. I haven't seen that print. Is it any lighter?
I don't have the Blu-ray either. I had the old school VHS of TCM3, so I don't know. I probably have I'm not the right guy to ask. I believe it was a Warner Archive.
Like this, because it's so fucking dark. I liked 3D. 3D was fun. The cameos in the beginning. That was okay. It wasn't bad. It was enjoyable. What else is there? I haven't seen Leatherface yet. I have it. I just haven't watched it yet.
You're not missing anything. That movie was it shouldn't even have been a Texas Chainsaw movie to me. I would agree with 3D being fun.
Yeah.
Like by no means is it good, but it's fun. Like the do your thing, cuz, and again, good looking women. That's a fun, stupid horror movie that I can be like, okay, I just don't feel that way with the remake.
I like that Leatherface better too.
Yeah, I like the beginning more. I think the beginning is better. The gore is better. The mask is better. It's mostly Arlie Ermey and Leatherface. The other characters are there, but they're barely in it.
There you go.
The violence and brutality, I would say, is the highest of the series in the beginning. I don't know. I like Jordana Brewster as the final girl. I don't know. I liked the beginning better than the remake, but I'm probably again in the minority on that. But that's something I just figured I'd bring up because that's one that I rewatch and I can get enjoyment out of it. I think that's more what the remake was supposed to be. Like the director, Jonathan Liebesman, he had done Darkness Falls and he had done a lot of movie. I think he went on to do Battle Los Angeles. I think he's a better filmmaker than Marcus Nispel. I think he did a better job. That's just what I think of it.
Maybe I'll watch that tonight. Make it 4 straight nights for my wife with Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies.
Oh no! Wait, you made her watch the fucking 2022?
Oh yeah.
You
watched the first time and watched it. She's like, "You're watching this again?" I said, "Yeah, we're going to talk about it." And I said, "He suckered me into watching it again." I owe him one.
I'm sure. And you said she listened to my Gilbert Gottfried rant on it, didn't she?
Epic.
That was funny. I could do that on the show too. That would be funny. I would give Texas Chainsaw Massacre the remake 2 out of 5 stars, and that's just for Beal. I would be in the same boat. Need to get more beers. What? More beers? What?
Whiskey? Go.
Tequila? What? Vodka? More beer? The Dario and her hotness saves Texas Chainsaw 3D. I love those eyes and other things. Got to keep it PG-13. Sure. I've got TCM on Blu-ray, and it's still a bad movie. See, I actually don't mind TCM 3. I think that's one of my favorite sequels of the whole bunch. I don't know. I like TCM3.
I love the heavy metal Leatherface with the long hair and he looked like he was right out of a fucking thrash metal band. It's really
and Ken Forey calling people motherfuckers and shooting shotguns and Viggo Mortensen, and I like Kate Hodge as the final girl. I like TCM3. That's one of the more hated ones. I don't know. I like Jeff Burr's direction.
I remember the trailer. Like, oh my god, the fucking trailer was freaky, man. Yeah. But like I said, it's so hard to watch because it's so damn dark. Like,
and that's a movie that got molested by the MPAA, just like Sleepaway Camp 3 and Friday 13 Part 7. They cut the shit. I think it took like 11 trips to the MPAA, and they cut that movie down. And
good old days.
Unfortunately, a lot of the gore is cut out of it, so it's a shame, But I can't blame the film for that because they did shoot that gore. Yeah. They just got crippled, and unfortunately, that footage has never seen the light of day. So I don't know. I kind of have a soft spot for TCM3.
Yeah,
that's just me. I guess that brings us to the 2022 Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Wait, what is your rating on the last one out of 10? I'm curious.
I can't give it the pass. I don't like it. 3.5, 4, maybe.
Wow.
I don't know. I don't like it. I don't really care for it. It maybe it is better than this movie, but granted, I don't know what. There's a lot of things that are. I don't know if there's many things in the world that worse than TCM 2022. I don't know, man. This one, I don't know. This is a piece of shit movie directed by David Blue Garcia, the fucking Blue Meanie himself. I got a plot synopsis. After 48 years of hiding, Leatherface returns to terrorize a group of idealistic young friends who accidentally disrupt his carefully shielded world in a remote Texas town. What the fuck was this piece of shit movie? Holy shit. Thoughts? You can go first. I don't.
Well, I don't want to, like I said, I'm going to try and be a little nice.
Please, one of us has to.
Well, I mean, people worked on it. People, put their hard-earned time and money, and people don't go out to make a shit movie, but sometimes it just happens. It's got everything that you want in a modern horror movie. Just kind of like, I don't know, the characters you don't care about. Just kind of plain looking and plain kind of shitty attitudes, and just it's just like you don't really give a shit about any of it, to be honest with you. Man, it's like it just tries to be too safe in some parts. I mean, the gore for sure. You can't deny the gore. I'll give it that. I mean,
and it's short. That's my two positives.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, they missed the mark. That's for sure. It's just a 2020, 21, 22 era horror movie where it's just like, and like I said, was it just better back in the day because it was actually better, or because we were just new to it, or what? I don't know. But it's not my cup of tea. That's for sure.
Oh man, it's terrible. I can't believe how bad this was. And like right off the bat, it had problems before it even came out. Like it was delayed for hell and ever. The initial directors, the Tohill brothers, they had the idea, and the story was going to be just two siblings going cross country. Their car breaks down and they encounter Leatherface. One of the siblings was going to be in a wheelchair, I guess an homage to the Franklin character, and they were going to be stalked throughout the night by Leatherface. That was the initial plan for this movie. A week into filming, they fired the Tohill brothers because of creative differences, which means the Tohill brothers didn't want to make a generic horror movie. The fucking studio, and Fede Alvarez, who produced that Evil Dead remake, which again, it has gore, Grande. It has gore. Yeah. So does this movie, though. And
I really like that, though. I really like the Evil Dead.
I will take that over this, but this is like, oh my god! So they fired their asses. They bring in my buddy David Blue Meanie Garcia, Blue Ball Garcia. He comes in, and now the story. And I last night sent you like a voice message, pretending to be Gilbert Gottfried, explaining the plot of this movie.
Yeah,
and I feel like I should do it here. I feel it would be some GCC.
It's your show, man.
4 dumbass teens buy a town. They get there and an old woman has a Confederate flag, which they ask for her to shove up her ass. Then Leatherface, straight out of an orphanage, who entered the orphanage at the age of 29 and 6'7" and 314 pounds of chocolate steaks and T-bone steaks. Then Mick Garris shows up with a shotgun, pretending to be Sally from the original. And Leatherface kills woke assholes on a bus. Holy shit, this movie's cool. Like, what the fuck? I just don't. Right off the bat, the characters are just millennials, Gen X, like scumbags, like
annoying,
and like
very annoying.
How the hell do they afford to buy a town? Like, I'm 25. I couldn't buy a town in 20 years. I couldn't buy a town. I fucking couldn't do it. But somehow they bought a town. They bring in the most weird looking ensemble cast. You've got one looks like Margot Robbie, one looks like Bob Ross, one that looks like the fucking rat-faced bitch from fucking Madman. Then you have the other guy who's pissed off about the Confederate flag. They're trying to say something there. What they're trying to say, I have no fucking idea. They barge into this old lady's house who's been taking care of Leatherface in an orphanage. What the fuck? So you're telling me at the end of this movie, Leatherface went to an orphanage?
Yeah.
I just, holy shit. And like, they fucking basically, they're like, oh, we own your town now, bitch. You got to get out. They fucking pretty much bully this woman into having a heart attack. He gets into the ambulance, and then Leatherface somehow becomes Jason Voorhees when she dies and takes a guy's arm, snaps it, and stabs him with his own arm bone. What the hell, man? It's like, why? This movie is taking the Halloween 2018 formula.
For sure.
And trying to be like that. Like, oh, it's going to be all these years later, and he's old, but he's still the same, and he's overpowered, and they don't stand a chance. This is just a big swing and a miss to me, man. I just fucking despise this movie on every level. I just don't like, what the hell? Like, what would you say this is worse than 2018 Halloween than you? Is this like, where would this stand for you?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he even took a cue from that movie because the chainsaw was in the wall. And then, he took a cue from like Rob Zombie's movie, how the mask was in the floor, I think it was something like that. So it's like, okay, he just had they had the chainsaw walled up in the fucking wall all these years. For sure. Halloween 2018. It's worse than that to me. Because the next Halloween after that was worse than the one before that.
Sure.
And the one that's coming out is going to probably be worse than the other two.
Gradually getting worse, my friend.
I'm just speculating. Yeah, it's going to end. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I don't know. This formula did not work for Texas Chainsaw Massacre at all. Like, Leatherface is not Jason. It's just not.
Yeah, everything that made the original great, they just said, fuck that.
Yeah, and like the mask in this movie, it looks like he slapped a piece of fucking ham on his face. Yeah. He doesn't, it's like the shittiest of the masks.
Was it the Cable Guy where Jim Carrey's got the
Clarice? Are the lads still screaming, Clarice?
There you go.
It's Jim Carrey and fucking Matthew Broderick at medieval times. It's so shitty. It looks like he put a fucking piece of ham on his face. Mm-hmm. And like, this is a classic where people, there's horror movies where people go, oh, I can't watch horror movies because the characters are so dumb. This is one of those movies that gives horror a bad name for that. Like, all of these characters are just dumb.
I'll take dumb over just annoying, because it's like I said, you don't care about them. You want to see them die from the beginning. It's like, they're so fucking irritating nowadays. It's like, they're not just, crazy kids being kids, making out and smoking pot and drinking and partying. It's like, they're just like their mouths. It's like, I just don't, it's like, fucking kill these guys already.
Yeah. Like
people.
Yeah. They try to, for the lead girl, do this arc where she was a survivor of a school shooting, maybe.
Yeah.
But they don't do anything with it. There's not a scene where she's like, I survived something tragic before and I could survive it again. Like, no oomph to it. It's just like, oh, we'll throw this in here. She overcame conflict before. Let's move on. Like, it's very rushed. And there's no minute to digest it. There's no relationship between the sisters in this at all. They don't even fucking look like sisters. One of them looks like Bob Ross. The other one looks like a rat. Like, what? Who casted that? It's just awful.
Well, she went from being so traumatized just seeing a gun to like having no problem fucking shooting one.
Yeah, like is this movie's trying to have like gun commentary? Like, oh my god, like it's not in this film. Are you serious? In a Texas Chainsaw Massacre film, you want to have fucking arms commentary? Like, really? Right. You do have the scene on the party bus, which is like their money shot, where Leatherface kills all of these woke Gen X assholes or Gen Z or whatever the fuck.
And you're happy to see it.
That are live streaming Leatherface killing them on Instagram. And you can see comments going, OMG, what the F? What the
Fake, first. No, stupid shit.
I don't know. Did that scene work for you on any level? I know it's gory, but like to me, its intent is just garbage.
No, because first you had the girl who just saw her friend with his face, like, and she jumps back on the bus, and there's still part. I'm like, is it just that magic curtain? She just can't like peek. Hey, there's some serious shit going on out here, guys. We gotta quit fucking around, get out of here. No, she just stays in the front, freaked out, I guess. And the bus driver guy leaves, and it's like, what the hell? Like, she just saw her friend like with his face cut in half, basically. And I was like, okay. I don't get too I like a lot of goofy, stupid movies, and it's like I don't have to have everything realistic. It's like, well, that like was blatantly just like, what the fuck? Like you would like I would tell everyone, let's go, let's get the hell out of here. Like the bus driver, like you're not getting off. I don't give a shit. Drive, just get away. No, we're just in the back behind the curtain. Just all right, nothing's going on in front. And like there's some serious shit going on in front.
Yeah, for real. I agree. I'm okay. I'm like of this age, right? Of whatever these characters are.
Yeah, you are.
There's not any way you could convince my dumb ass to get on a fucking party bus to go to the party in the middle of nowhere in a town my friend bought. If my friend could afford a fucking town, I tell him to invest his money in something other out than a town. Like,
yeah, right.
Oh man, I don't know. And they do bring back the Sally Hardesty character, and it's not, of course, Marilyn Burns. May she rest in peace. I know she couldn't do it because she's not alive.
Would she have?
Clearly going for Jamie Lee Curtis, and this fucking actress looks like Mick Garris.
Yeah, right.
It's like Mick Garris promoting Masters of Horror season 2 for fucking Showtime, and she's a park ranger for 40 fucking years, and she's like, "Oh, I'll go kill him. I've been looking for him for 40 years." You couldn't find Leatherface, the fucking 6'5", 400-pound idiot in a fucking orphanage.
In an orphanage.
They have a picture of all the dumbass kids in the orphanage, and Leatherface is in the back. It looks like the fucking gym teacher or something. In the back, like chill, like, hey, I don't stick out, do I? Like,
I'm 29. All the other kids are like 8.
Oh my god, man! It's fucking terrible. It really didn't work. And then she comes back, and man, they shit on her. They take a monkey shit on her face, right? Where she's like, you remember my friends? And she shows him a picture, which is nobody took that fucking picture. It's like a stock picture. And then she's got the gun to him. I'll fucking shoot. I'll shoot. And Leatherface doesn't even know who this bitch is. He's like, who the hell are you? I'm just fucking trying to cut this ham off my face.
They brought her back just to kill her.
Yeah, and like really make her dumb. Like,
yeah,
she has chances to kill him. He also gets shot several times and just keeps running around like fucking Usain Bolt. He doesn't spell anything. He's like 60 plus to 70-year-old Leatherface, but he's running around like a fucking track star. He quarterback sacks the fucking one of the girls into the water, and like. I don't know, man. This was a fucking atrocity to me. Why would anybody like this? Do you think, part of me thinks here that there are people that will like this movie and say it's a commentary on why my generation sucks. Like why Gen X and what Gen Z. And I would agree that the stereotypical Gen X or Gen Z or whatever sucks. I would agree with that. But this movie, it's trying to be a lot smarter than it is, man, to me.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that could have been done better.
That's how a lot of them are. It's like, dude, you just blood, beast, and boobs, man. That's it. It's a simple fucking thing that worked through all throughout the 70s and 80s and some of the 90s. But I mean, it's just like you're trying too hard.
Do you think horror movies are too self-aware for their own good now? Because like I feel like a lot of them are.
Yeah, for sure. It's like I don't need all the extra stuff. Just I want to see someone die, and just like I don't, you're digging way too deep for it. It's like, no, you don't need all that. We're a simple folk. us horror people.
We are. It's a good point. And like you would think, okay, in a 75-minute movie, Texas Chainsaw movie, there's not going to be anything like that. No, there's a commentary on Gen Xers. There's a commentary on guns. There's a commentary on Confederate flags. There's a guy that's pumping his gas in the beginning, and because he has a gun, he's a redneck asshole. The guy's just sitting there pumping his gas. What did he do to anybody? And that guy ends up being the only likable character.
I got news for you. People in Texas, that's just common. That's common. You drive with your gun next to you and a beer in your hand, and it's no big deal. I know people that live in Texas, and I'm like, were you drinking? Yeah. I got my gun next to me. I got a giant knife right behind me. I'm like, okay. Yeah. No seatbelt.
Sure, yeah. No seatbelt. Seatbelts are rated.
Things are just different. It's like we're all different in different parts, and just assume, and no one wants to accept that anymore. So
yeah, I just I don't know, right off the bat, those two girls, they're like, oh fuck this asshole, he's got a gun, I'm like, the guy's standing there pumping his gas, like he didn't do shit, and you're like shitting on him. I'm like, okay, this is my protagonist. I already don't like you. You're just shitting on this guy who's standing there pumping his gas.
Yeah, right. Instantly.
Yeah,
that kid was like so angry at the beginning at the owner of he was a total dick to her. The owner of the orphanage is like, you want to tone that down a bit if you're trying to get her to like, you get more bees with honey. Like the kid was like instantly just a prick to her. I'm like,
the orphanage. I don't know why that killed. When I was watching it, I'm like, you're telling me this fucking giant motherfucker mongoloid was in the orphanage, and nobody said a word. Nobody. Oh my god! I don't know.
Some people are just happy that Leatherface is still relevant and Michael Myers is still. I got when I read the next Halloween takes place 4 years after the last one. So he's much older is he going to be now?
Halloween 44 years later. They'll be making Halloween movies in 60 years. She'll be in a fucking electric scooter and he'll be with a walker still chasing her fucking ass. And she'll be fucking eating Activia yogurt and being like, "Oh, this is the end, Michael." And people will still want to see it. It's like this new trailer for that Halloween movie. It's two 70-year-old people fighting in a kitchen. And it's the most talked about thing on the internet.
I know.
Like, y'all need to get a hobby. Like, I don't know. This is a disgrace to the original. Like to me, to erase everything. Texas Chainsaw 2 is a better movie than this. 3, I would even say Next Generation is a better movie than this is a disgrace because it's not Leatherface. They just turn him into Jason for the fuck of it. Just like they did with Michael. Like, it doesn't matter how old he is. He's superhuman. Right. Leatherface wasn't superhuman. Leatherface sawed his chainsaw into his leg and was limping at the end. He got the wrench thrown at him. He's a human. He's a normal guy. He's not going to take shotgun blasts and shit. Like, I don't know. I think they sorely miss what made Leatherface a great character.
That's what got me thinking with this last one. I started thinking, now, what if we lived in a world where this was the only one? Would we hate it as much? Like there was this brand new movie coming out called Texas Chainsaw Massacre. We never had it once before. I think part of our disdain for it is like you said, what it did to the franchise, what it's done to the memory of it. But just put yourself I would probably think it was decent if it wasn't for the other movies before. If this was the very first Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I think it would have been all right. But the fact that we had prime age steak in the first one, and now we got fucking ground chuck, that's what kind of ruins it. So I just I try to think, I don't know how you say it, but what would you think? You think just say that if this was the only one, would you still feel as much hatred for it? Or would you kind of give it a little bit of pass, like, well, maybe they'll do another one and it'll be better?
I think maybe with another franchise, I could feel that way. Like, I actually think that's a more interesting question for the Halloween. Like, maybe they never made Halloween 2 or 4 or any of those. Maybe that. Texas Chainsaw, though, is a different animal. To me, like I was saying here, I like Texas Chainsaw 2 and 3. They didn't have to be made. Like I said right towards the beginning of this, I don't think you ever need anything more than the idyllic summer afternoon drive that turned to a nightmare. I really don't. This movie is anti what the original movie is. There's nothing about it. To me, it's very much like, oh, we own Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Let's rip off the Halloween 2018 formula and make this movie just like that one. And that's basically what they did. I agree. I know what you're trying to say is like if those other sequels didn't exist. I don't know. It's hard to say because they
any of them. Not even the original one. Not even any.
Not even the original one.
No, this was like movie number 1, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2022. You had nothing to compare it to. We live in a world where everything was. This was our introduction to Leatherface and Texas Chainsaw.
If this was my introduction to Leatherface, I'd have a different fucking opinion on Leatherface.
I just wonder, like, I mean, for sure, like I said, it's like you're just making it, you're just diluting it for sure.
You're probably right. Maybe I wouldn't hate it as much, but I don't think it's a good film. I really don't. Like, okay, like we said, positives, short. And we live in an era where movies are self-indulgent in their runtime. These Marvel fucking movies, 2 hours and 45 minutes, 3 hours. I am appreciative that it was 70-something minutes and credits, and I'm done. I appreciate that. Yeah. The gore, the practical gore is fairly good. However, I thought there was quite a lot of bad CG in this film. Like, for example, when they drive off the road, there's CGI rocks hitting the window. CGI rocks! You can't afford rocks to throw at this fucking motherfucker's rocks!
Yeah.
I'm sitting there, I'm like, CGI rocks. You had a budget of $20 million and you couldn't afford rocks to just throw at the fucking window. That's fucking bad to me. Yeah, just have a fucking, I'll do it for free. Boom, boom, boom. Move on. Margot Robbie gets killed and the fucking police officer and he puts a ham on his face. I don't know, like,
that ending.
That is the redeemer, is the gore. But again, I don't know.
Like maybe if it was the only one, maybe I'd give it like a 6. If it was the only one in existence, I'd probably give it a 6. But since it's not, fucking 2 out of 10.
I would go with the same rating. It's like a 2 out of 10. It's such a missed opportunity to me because I really would have liked to have seen the Toe Hill movie that those guys wanted to do. They sounded like they wanted to do old school, just 2 people. They're a protagonist, Leatherface, like similar to the original. Okay, like you have the person in the wheelchair, so obviously you're not going to be having any fucking physical altercations. You have somebody in a wheelchair. Like, to me, that would have sounded like more of an interesting story on paper than this did to me.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think the whole idea is bad. Just these Gen Xers behind a town, really? Like, that's the setup. And, oh, Grande, you're supposed to hate them. They're supposed to be unlikable. That's because screw this generation. Nah, not really.
No. I like the in Friday the 13th, the original ones. I like Adrian King. I like Amy Steele. You wanted them you were rooting for them, and shit like that. And Heather Langenkamp, you liked them. You wanted to see them survive. You want to see them, these nowadays it's like fucking just first 5 minutes, like just wipe them all out. I hate all of you. I don't like any of you. I don't give a fuck what you are.
Like, I don't know the ending of this movie where they cut off the girl's head.
Harpo, yeah.
Is that Harpo Marx? Yes. That's so true. She's fucking Harpo Marx. Maybe I'm wrong here. I laughed my ass off. I thought it was goofy. Was that supposed to be terrifying? Like the other sister going, no!
I mean, that was a terrible CGI effect for sure.
I just don't get the director's like goal there. Like, because if it was to make me laugh, or was it to like be I laughed too, but I don't know if I was supposed to. I don't know if I think it was supposed to be like a shock, like, oh shit. Like, I will say that remake, I don't like it, but the final shot where the guys are like in black and white and Leatherface jumps out and this is the last known stills of Leatherface and the case is still open. That's a scary way to end your film. I'm not laughing at that. Right. As much as shit as I gave that remake a few minutes ago.
Right.
That's at least tonally how you end a horror movie.
Yeah.
This was just like, really? And he holds up Harpo fucking Marx's Bob Ross's hair. I fucking give up. Holy shit. I really hope this is the end. It does set it up for a sequel bait ending, as there's a post-credit scene where he's walking towards the house.
Right.
Apparently they want a trilogy out of this.
With both arms. They didn't take that from the other one.
No, they thankfully, yeah. But I don't know, man. I would agree with you. This is like a 2 out of 10. Yeah, fucking one arm. He's gonna go with another orphanage for another.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I didn't want to rip on it, but man, there's just some stuff that just you can't not touch on.
Yeah, no. Listen, I would say too, you're a nice guy. Like, you don't like to bury shit. Like, you are. I saw this. I saw the trailer for this, and I was like, I'm not watching that shit. I remember the night it came out, you texted me. You're like, so when you're watching it, Grande, I'm like, buddy, I got better things to do. And you're like, oh, you can make me watch this bullshit by myself. He was like, we can make fun of it together. And I was like, okay. And I watched it in time, and wow, I still was like,
yeah, you got to watch, like the next Halloween movie. I'm not excited about it. I don't give a fuck about it, but I got to watch it because it's like, you know, like if your team that's not in the Super Bowl, you still watch a Super Bowl because everyone's gonna be talking about it Monday morning. Or like, you know,
yes, it definitely, it's like you're in a school again. Like it's like the talk of the hallway or the water cooler or whatever. Like everyone's talking about it, so you want to just be up to speed with what the hell they're saying.
I'm not trying to be cool or not trying to fit in or get anyone's approval. Like I just because you may as well just take it and run with it, you know, because you know it's going to suck. You just want people talking.
I think we know it's going to suck, but there are people that really love these last two Halloween movies. There are people that have told me this is the best Texas Chainsaw sequel. They're like, oh, the 2 is horrible. It's a black comedy. The tone's all off. This is the best sequel. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, did your mother feed you fucking chocolate shit shake when you were a kid? Like, did you just taste shit and just think like, okay, this is what I'm eating. This is good.
Like I said, like to each his own. If you like it, I'm not gonna bash you. I'm not gonna call you stupid, but I definitely won't understand it.
I don't either. I just like this is to me everything I don't like about current horror is this movie right here. Like it. Okay, yeah, like you said, there was the two positives of the short and the gore, but that doesn't at all salvage this movie to me. It takes a monkey shit on the original. No. It's laughably bad for most of it. The kills
anywhere. Yeah, you know, it's like getting excited if there's a sex scene or a nudity or something like. You miss it in these movies nowadays because that was part of it, but like you can see it anywhere. You can just
Yeah, it was funny. I remember when they were test screening this movie.
There's gore.
They got like, oh hell yeah! This got like the most bad test screening reactions of all time. And I remember producer Fede Alvarez declined that it happened. He was like, "Oh, that didn't happen. No."
Yeah.
When I heard he was like declining that the test screening went bad, I was like, I can't even imagine how fucking bad this is going to be.
Yeah.
I don't know though. Like, would you say this? Because I know you asked me if in a world where if no Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie existed, what would I think? I'll ask you this question: would you think in a world where we're not so up to date with everything? Like, we know the original directors got fired after a week. We know the test screenings went bad. We know that it was supposed to go theatrical, but it was apparently so shitty that Netflix said, fuck it, we'll buy it from you, take it off your hands so you make a profit. So Netflix probably bought this movie for $40 million.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe us being in the know, does that hurt this movie, having preconceived notions going in? The trailer's showing too much? I don't know. Is that possible? Because I never saw the trailer for the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and I fucking loved it. And I didn't know any of the behind the scenes when I saw it. So does these preconceived notions, being in the know, being older, like does it hurt these films at all, do you think?
I don't know. I mean, it's like with anything, you can watch and read and whatever you like. It's like ultimately, it's like what do you think of it? You know, and you can think it's gonna. There's been times where I'm like, this movie's gonna suck. Any movie like, oh, you know what? It wasn't that bad. You know, that trailer was shitty, or all the things you were shit talking about it. It was actually a pretty good movie, but I don't think it matters because nowadays you could probably read the whole fucking script to the next Halloween movie and somewhere out there. I'm sure it's out there. You know how it ends, I'm sure, but you ultimately got to go in and watch it yourself. You know,
I'm the same way.
Make your own.
I try to watch and be open-minded for myself. I may go in with like, I don't think so. I don't think I'm going to like this, but there's times where, like you said, I'm pleasantly surprised. I like, I'll go in to see a movie thinking there's no way. And then at the end, I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm glad I gave it a shot. And I'll go walk out with some positives, you know. But this just wasn't one of those times.
It goes the other way too. You'd be all excited about it. Like that's how I was with Halloween 2018. Because I really don't get into like reading all that shit, and I'm like, I didn't even watch the trailer when it first came out. I mean, I actually went in positive, and as I watched it, my positivity further down. I'm like, oh fuck, they're gonna fuck me on this movie. Like this is like, damn it, you know, like shit.
Yeah. No, that's the worst. It's worse to be let down by something you're excited by than to be let down by something you think going in is going to be bad.
And you like it, yeah.
Like, and that's happened a few times to me as well. So I don't know. I'm definitely, I know where you're coming from with that.
Yeah.
I mean, we had a ton of comments. I feel bad. There's no way I can get to all of them. Holy shit. I think, yeah, no, if I missed it, well, I guess we'll go here. Let's see. If this was the only TCM movie, I'd be thinking, man, I hope somebody takes this concept and does it right. I would agree with that, Corey. Sweet kills. Okay. A positive would be the lighting. Good brother Tom says. I would agree with that. Sure, the lighting was fine. Peter Jackson would have thrown real rocks, that's for sure. Peter Jackson would have made a much better Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie than Marcus Nispel or David Blue Meanie Garcia. They couldn't afford a rock guy. Got to take care of in the post. Yeah, exactly. Fuck it with their CGI rocks at the window. Less expensive to get a car to throw rocks at it than all those CGI moments. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess so. Well, probably not going to happen because probably in the next 5 years, Netflix is going to be dead in the water. I don't know about that. That one, I don't know. I am the Ice Lord's in the Heezy. What's going on, good brother? Hope all is well. No fucking way somebody thinks this is the best. I swear to you, there are people that will tell you this is the best sequel. I swear to you that happened. Like a lot of people didn't mind this. And I was like, wow, like, I don't know. Maybe it's just, maybe I'm out of touch. TCM 2 is the best sequel, in my opinion. I think a lot of people would agree with that. For me, it's 2 or 3. I like 2 and 3 the best of the sequels for sure. Not too far though. LOL, I'm not a fan of this franchise. Okay. Keep in mind, Death Central, what I might do is use your voice for the okay, these guys are talking. Danae's in the house, not just horror. Hi, John. So glad you caught this live. Dude, welcome to the graveyard. Hope all is well. Death Central, yes, it is very unique. Okay, these guys are still talking. The only trailers I watch are those I have to sit through in the theater. Yeah, no, that's a good point. I'm glad to know all this stuff. I still haven't seen this one. Yeah, no, I don't know. This is
spoiler alert.
Yes, we always spoil shit in the graveyard. Not to me. I said this in the Scream rant. I said you cannot spoil something that's already fucking rotten.
It's already
stand by that fucking statement. If this was the only Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie, I would not like it because they put agenda first rather than story. Yeah, and the story in it is just so poor. It's just like generic Eric, man. I don't like the story. Oh man, I like that remake too. LMAO. Hope you still will be my friend, John. Of course, I'll still be your friend, Danae. Of course. The newest film was trash. I agree with that. We're all on the same page. I think we're all on the same page. I haven't seen one person defend it in the comments. So I don't know. I think we were all in agreement that the 2022 movie sucks. But the remake, it seems like I'm in the minority. So that's always fun. But yeah, that has been the TCM trilogy here. Now, if you want, we could do some horror trivia because I know AJ is a horror trivia nut. I broke out the horror trivia cards.
Oh shit!
If you're down, I'd be down to ask you some. If you want to ask me some,
yeah, we can do. What time is it here?
It's like 2 minutes to 10.
Oh, we're at 2 hours almost. Huh? Shit.
Yeah, no, we had a nice show here. I'm down to. I'm going for 15 or 20 more minutes. I'm down to do some trivia.
We can run through a card or two. Why not? I got some over here.
You want to go first? You want me to give you? Oh, Matt, you need a magnifying glass? This guy.
Hey, look at this shit.
You're like Motherface in the orphanage.
Oh, and it's supposed to have a light on it, but it don't work. It needs a new battery.
Yeah. Well, actually, you know what? We have enough people in the chat. Does the chat want to play along? Do you guys want questions for the chat as well? We could do that as well. Whatever you guys want to do. We could do the questions and then chat can participate, whatever you want to do. I can wait to see if you want. What do you want to do? You want me to ask you questions first? Or do you want to ask me questions first?
Yeah, go ahead. You could. Usually I try to like pick. I'm just going to grab one because sometimes these questions are fucking stupid. Like who's the the last name of the guy in Nightmare on Elm Street, or it could be like what kind of dog did the lighting director in the Babadook have, You know.
No. My favorite of all time was they got and Tom says, yeah, let's trivia, let's go. And Danae said, I'll probably fail miserably. Let's do this shit. Okay, we're gonna do trivia, but before that, I remember they got the lighting supervisor for fucking Night of the Living Dead to come to a convention.
Oh wow!
And I'm like, no offense, like I don't care if you made the best lit movie of all time, and Night of the Living Dead is the fucking dark movie. Like,
Black and white.
What are you gonna ask him? Like, hey, buddy, what fucking batteries did you use in that flashlight? Like, what the fuck? I just don't understand, man. It's just garbage.
Well, one of the best things I had was I don't think it was the one you have. I think I have another one. It was really cheap. It was like, it's just cards. It was like $5, I think. The very first question is like, what is the main zombie in Day of the Dead? And it's like, oh, it's Bub.
Come on, Bob.
You flip it over, it said Bud. B-U-D. I'm like, are you fucking shitting me?
That's
like,
wrong. It's Bub, yo.
I'm like, well, that's what you get for a $5 trivia question. Like, Bud.
For real, yeah. Okay, trivia, hard trivia. I'm going to ask AJ, give like a minute so that the chat can also answer. Don't cheat now. Don't cheat on the chat. I won't cheat on the chat when you ask me. First question. This should be a layup, I hope. In Fright Night, 1985, which character is turned into a vampire? Charlie Brewster, Judy Brewster, Detective Lennox, or Evil Ed? Cue the Jeopardy music.
You want me to wait a minute?
I get to a couple of these. I didn't hate it as much as the others because I judge movies for kills and entertainment over anything else. Were those batteries Duracell or Energizer? Yeah, no, I want to know what batteries did he fucking use? I have no idea. No answers in the chat yet. I can repeat the question one more time. In Fright Night, 1985, which character is turned into a vampire? Charlie Brewster, Judy Brewster, Evil Ed, or Detective Lennox? We've got some answers. We've got Death Central hasn't seen the original. Dude,
what?
I know you're a kill count monster, man. Get that 4K in October. Do yourself a favor.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be nice.
What is Amy? Well, she's not one of the choices, but that's not a wrong answer.
True.
All right. Do you want to give your answer? Because we've got some answers in the chat.
I got Evil Ed.
Correctamundo. Evil Ed. Mateo got it right. Evil Ed. Evil Ed, baby. Hell yeah, man. Oh, you're so cool, Brewster. Fun fact, Evil Ed went on to do porn after fucking 976 Evil. He
male porn.
Hell, oh, yeah. Male porn.
The real Cooper.
Half, I get half a point. Okay, we give you half a point. What do you want to do? You do two. Do you want to do one now, and then I'll shield the chat for myself?
Yeah, I'll do one. Ahead. I don't know what it is. Like, it could be shitty, it could be stupid. So I'm just gonna read them.
Okay.
If I can read. Okay. All right. See. All right. Ready? In Insidious 2010, what does Elise Rayner call the purgatory realm where Dalton Lambert is trapped?
I've got it. I know the answer.
Really?
I do. I will not. I won't say it for the chat. Actually, you know what? I'll just play along. I'll write it in the chat. Yeah. First one, baby. What's it say? The further, you son of a bitches. Hell yeah.
Oh,
Danae got it.
Father.
The father, yeah. Well, that's funny enough. The Insidious 5, that's the title, the working title, The Further. And my company where I'm at, they fucking ordered through us, and it said like shipping to Insidious 5, The Further. I was like, holy shit, I'm shipping to a horror movie right now.
That's cool.
Mateo says Canada. No, not the either. No, it wasn't the either. The further. Oh, that's right. Haha. Yeah, no, The Further, man. The Further. That's a good one though. Let's see. I want to give you a good one too.
I'm just going down, man.
I'm looking. I can actually see because I've got 4 eyes, thankfully.
You got one big one.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I'm looking at you now with it.
Yeah, I'm trying to make sure. I don't want to give you one that's like too fucking hard either. Okay, here. Who was the only actor to play Jason Voorhees more than once in the Friday the 13th series from 1980 to 89?
What's the softball?
So who was the only person to play Jason more than once at the Paramount 8?
Okay. Want me to answer?
You can answer. Go ahead.
McCain Hodder.
Correctamundo, Mr. Zetro. Another layup. I've got to give you some harder ones, man. I don't know. I definitely think people are going to get that right too.
I noticed there's not a lot of Italian questions on these.
No, these are whoever made these watched exclusively American movies.
Yeah, right.
Kane.
We'll have to
That's
make
gotta be Kane.
we got to make our own.
Sure. I did one when you came up for the Maniac show. I did like a Who Wants to Be a Millionaire and I wrote them out. That was like, I went hard on that, man. That was really fun.
All right, you want another one?
Hell yeah, give me another one.
Okay, well, this is a good one. You should know this. What was the name of the Swiss surrealist painter who designed the titular creature in Alien?
H.R. Geiger.
You are correct.
Thank you, sir. Neon Black Reviews has a trivia question. What was the first Giallo?
That's too deep.
Do you know that answer? Because I think I do. Granted, there's always like, I always say it, and then somebody will go, oh, no, this is the first Giallo, whatever. Got one. Nice. Come on, Resurrected. Alex Trebek, give us a stumper. That was easy. We can give you hard ones. I'll find a hard one.
There'll be hard ones. There'll be hard ones.
The game always asks about the damn Wicker Man Carnival Souls. I always get those wrong. I love those movies. There's a Wicker Man question that's really hard on here that I don't think anybody would get. Geiger. It's gotta be Kane. Well, Neon Black answered it actually before I could say it. Bob is the girl who do too much. Yeah. The girl something. Oh. Yeah, sure. That's the girl something. Totally, Mateo. That is certainly it.
I was going to say Bay of Blood. Not too far off. Same guy.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. I'm looking here. I want to give a harder one because it seems like people do not like the easy ones. So I'm trying.
You got to warm up.
Okay. In Dead Alive. So Neon Black Reviews, you better get this right because you did the episode with me.
Shit.
In Dead Alive, 1992, what is the relationship between the first zombie Vera and the protagonist Lionel? What is their relationship? Any idea, Mr. Zetro?
Wasn't that the fuck? That's the mother and son? I forget the name. I forget the name. They threw me
You're
up.
right. I'm fucking with you. You're right. Mother and son. Okay. Did anybody else get it in the chat? I don't know. Mother and son, his mom. Okay, I don't think anybody's gotten anything much wrong lately here, man. I think we got some diehard fucking horror hounds in the easy tonight. Granted, I don't think these have been terribly hard. I can give a really, really hard one, but and the guy that pissed on her. Right.
I saw that at the theater.
That's so cool.
Little itty bitty theater. Little itty bitty theater with a little itty bitty screen.
That's 30 years ago. You probably saw it in the theater too. I'm so jealous. That's so fucking cool, man.
It was good. It was fun. There's like 50 people in there. It was so small.
Oh man, that's great. Junebug, before you go, movie trivia. What was the first horror movie? Hints, technically the movie listed would be considered a Nickelodeon because it only cost a nickel back in the day.
The first horror movie.
I always thought the first horror movie was Frankenstein from 1910. I thought that was considered, but then again, there could always be somebody go, oh, in 1894, there was
wasn't there like a Gollum and wasn't there one of them and what was that one, the devil one? I don't know what year. I'm good.
The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari is 1920, and then Nosferatu is 22.
Faust or some shit like that, or what the hell is the name of it? Is that what I'm thinking of?
Somebody said Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, the Gollum, Nosferatu. Are you guys going to Monster Mania in August? Ryan offered me to go for free. He has a free ticket. I could go. I don't know. I haven't thought about it, to be honest. I'm definitely going to the all-night slash-a-thon. That's coming up.
Yeah, there you go.
House of the Devil from 1890 something. Okay, maybe that's the one he's referring to. I would assume that's the one he's referring to.
I never heard of that one. Oh.
I haven't either. There's always like, I always say Frankenstein from 1910, but then there are people who go, oh, well, there's this movie. So I don't know what I have no idea what the first one was. I guess it's also how you fucking, consider horror. Neon Black Reviews got. Okay. AJ, give me another one, buddy.
All right. The Fly in 1986 was a remake of the movie with the same name, released in what year? So
ask that one more time.
The Fly. Well, they always throw extra words there to fuck with you.
Yeah.
Basically, the Fly in 1986 was a remake of the movie with the same name, released in what year? So what year?
I want to say 59. Was the original Fly 1959?
Your final answer?
Oh shit! Does that mean it's wrong? I don't know. Well, hold on. Before you reveal the answer, let's hear the chat. My guess is 1959. That's a Vincent Price color joint, I think. And I think the sequel was probably, but wasn't the sequel 1950 something as well? So we got 1950 something, 1952, the sexy 1969, which I know that's not it. It's definitely not 1969. Could be 56. OMG, John, what come through? Maybe, I don't know. Movie trivia. Oh, no, quite. We're still on this question. My gut reaction was 59, but I'm leaning towards 56 because I think Tom is a smart person. I'll stick with 59.
Very close. 1958.
Oh, okay. I was close. At least I was in the ballpark. 58. Okay. But he did cheat. Okay, 58 or 57. Various places say different years. Okay, so maybe I wasn't so close. God bless, my friend.
Right.
58. Okay, so 58. Maybe the sequel, maybe Return of the Fly was 59. I don't know why that number popped in my head.
Probably. That sounds good.
Yeah, no, for sure. Okay. Let's see. I want to get another tough one. Yeah, like some of these are easy. Like who played Patrick Bateman in American Psycho? It's like, come on, like that's a layup, man. Okay, here's a good one. What is the name of the fictional Canadian mining town in which My Bloody Valentine 1981 is set?
Oh, shit. Yeah, I'm not going to know that one.
Really? You're a slasher mark. I'm surprised you don't know that.
Yeah, no good with names.
I can give you a hint. The name of the town is sort of connected to the title of the movie. That Central says he knows, but he didn't say the answer yet.
Yeah, fuck. I never paid attention to stuff like that.
I'm sure you like the little song, though. And it's the day on a Valentine's Day. The Ballad of Harry Warden. I love it. Mateo says Hosertown. Mateo, hey. You're from you're a Canadian. You don't even know that? That's like the Canadian slasher movie. That's fucking what's his name? Is it George Mahalka or Patrick Mahalka? I think it's George Mahalka film. It's Valentine something, but I can't remember the name for shit. Wow, nobody's got this so far.
Valentine Bluff.
You got it. That's right. Valentine Bluff. That's right.
Oh.
Swear to God, here. If it was never open, I swear to God, it's Valentine's Bluff. I don't know why. You're right, dude.
Oh, okay.
Half a point for Zetro. Half a point for Zetro.
I had to dig that way in the deep depths of my fucking tiny brain.
Pulled it out.
Wow, okay. Where are we at here? Okay. Which character in Pet Sematary is not resurrected? Gage Creed, Rachel Goldman Creed, Judd Crandall, or Bill Baderman?
I think it's Rachel. I'm pretty sure it's Rachel. Isn't Rachel their daughter? Wait a minute.
See, they throw a little extra.
Gage was resurrected. And so was Judd Crandall. You best be staying off that road now, Lois, you see? Because, you see, the ground, it goes sour, you know? My name's Judd Crandall, and you best be staying off that road.
Really? Oh, never mind.
I've been wanting to do Pet Sematary for the longest time. Trenchy, it's his favorite fucking horror movie, and I wanted to have him on for it, but he bailed on me twice. I hope one day, he's been MIA for a while. There wasn't a daughter in the original. Yeah, there was. It's the little kid.
Yeah.
The little boy, the little girl, and the mom there's a little girl in it. Isn't there? Am I bugging?
No.
Judd. No, Judd gets resurrected. Oh, no, wait a minute. Does he? She might be right. Might be Judd. It was the dad. Joe Krentel or something. Read the whole question again. I've totally mind fucked myself. I did.
Which character in Pet Sematary is not resurrected? Gage Creed, Rachel Goldman Creed, Judd Crandall, or Bill Baderman?
Rachel might have been the wife. That might have been the fucking wife. Now I think of it. Maybe it was the wife, and she was resurrected. and there was a daughter, but she wasn't resurrected because she never died. That's what fucked me up here. I think the answer is Judd Crandall. That's going to be my guess.
Correct answer is don't go near that road.
Let's stand off that road now, Lois. You see?
Yeah, he just killed him.
I thought the Rachel was the wife, but I thought when you said Rachel, I thought the daughter, and I'm like, she didn't even die, so that's why I initially thought her. But okay, I don't know. I maybe mind fucked myself out of that one.
Yeah, that's what they do in these things. They make you overthink it,
Yeah, I did my process of elimination for sure. Let's see. That's too easy. See, some of these are just too easy, man.
This was a pretty good card. I'm just going down the card here. So
I've been doing pretty good on that card. Not for nothing.
I think the next one they'll probably fuck everyone up on. So
I'm cool to get fucked up on something. I'm down. I'm just looking through. I want to get another good one here. Wow, that's impossible. There's a Devil's Rejects question, but it's so impossibly hard.
You never know.
I don't think anybody would get this. I don't know.
You got to read.
All right, we'll try it. Devil's Rejects question.
I don't know.
Devil's Rejects. What is the name of the motel to which Otis and Baby escape?
Oh shit! I should know that because they show it predominantly, don't they?
I guess they do, but I would have never in a million years got it.
Isn't it like Star something or Bell's Air something or other? Oh shit!
I don't know. Does anybody in the chat know? We can. Damn, Judd, it is. Yeah, no, I think Tom. I think you thought the same line as me. Rachel. I thought that Rachel was the daughter, and that's why I said her initially. But no, Rachel was the wife. The wife was resurrected in the book. I know that because that's how it ends. Yes, that's how the movie ends too. The original movie. Man, again, I have not seen Pet Sematary in a long time, but I'm going to put my money on Judd. Yeah, no, Pet Sematary, Judd. That's the correct answer. Sometimes dead is better. You see, Lois. I just guess so. It doesn't count. No, it's all right. Pet Sematary is like, oh my god, dude, the Ramones. I don't want to be buried in a pet cemetery.
I have that. I have the score.
Oh, really, dude? You've got to fucking. That's give him. AJ used to do these trivia lives on Instagram, and that's kind of how we became friends. Like I would just participate. And then we just started talking on the side, and he'd play like Suspiria, Goblin, Fulci, Freezy. He'd play all these like cool Italian scores while he was playing the trivia, and it would just set the perfect mood.
Maybe do it again when it gets winter out and more people are sitting at home looking for something to do.
Yeah, it's too fucking hot. I'll have to watch film. Let's see. Well, I try to ignore everything Rob Zombie. Okay. somebody in the comments got it. So before do you have any final guesses before
what's it start with?
All right, it starts with a K.
Oh shit.
The initials are KP. I would have never got this in a million years. I don't know how anybody knows this.
Katy Perry.
Oh my god. Fucking firework. Is the Motel of the Palms. You're close. Brother Tom got it. Palms or something close. That is exactly right. It's Kayaki Palms.
There you go. Okay.
I'm stunned somebody got it. Undead of Night's answer. Yeah, he got it. Undead of Night's got it. Here, you got what's the one that's gonna fuck us up now?
Okay. I don't know. It might. You know a lot of shit, so I don't know. What causes Hector's bandages to turn pink in Time Crimes? 2007.
Wow.
Might be something you can guess.
I've not seen the movie, so that pretty much eliminates me.
Have
you seen that?
Doesn't ring a bell to me, no.
I don't even know. I've never even heard of it. Time Crimes.
It says Time Crimes Spanish 2007. Spanish movie, I guess.
I've seen The Orphanage. That's a 2007 Spanish horror movie. That's a really good one too.
Yeah. What causes his bandages to turn pink?
He spills Trix yogurt on him. No.
I mean, it's kind of obvious if you think about it.
Yeah. Is it the blood that's on his fucking face? Is that the answer?
Blood from a head wound.
Yeah. Okay.
See, that's one where they make you think, but you're like, well, that makes sense.
Was he covered in green slime or something?
I didn't have to see the movie to just kind of guess that, you know.
Okay. Here's a really good one. This is for our literary people here. If you like to read, What was the name of the novella that Hellraiser 1987 was based on?
Oh.
And if you're a fan of the series, you probably will know this. You don't even have to really have read the book.
Right. See, like that. You didn't have to read it. You just got to be a fan of it. Fuck, it's on the tip of my tongue.
Somebody got it in the comments, but I won't share it yet.
Ah, shit.
2 people got it in the comments. 3 people. Okay, people got this. No worries. Take your time. We're not timed here. I'm not Alex Trebek.
Can I phone a friend?
We initially were going to do that. Where we're going to be. I should do that one week where like we just play trivia in the chat. The only thing is I couldn't really prevent if somebody cheated. Like somebody could just look it up, and I don't know. I would feel like
that's kind of how it is when you phone a friend. You got to make sure they have quick hands in the computer.
Sure.
5 seconds, 4 seconds. What do you got?
A, B, add them on a timer. Okay, like mad people got it in the chat.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna kick myself in the ass because I just
think no rush, no pressure. I see who's got it. No worries. I knew this one too. I did know this one too, and I've actually read it. It's quite the novel. I've also read the Scarlet Gospels, which is a fantastic book. Clive Barker's great.
Give me the first letter, and I won't take any points from it.
It's hard because I don't know if it's going to help you much. The first letter is H.
Is it like
Okay, hold on. Here's a better hint. Think of the series, the Hellraiser series. It's one of the like titles of one of them.
Hellbound Heart or some shit like that?
Yep, you're right. Correct. Hellbound Heart. maybe too good of a hint, but we got him. Hellbound Heart, Hellbound Heart, Hellbound Heart, Hellbound. The Hell Reader. That one didn't happen. I try to avoid Hellraiser movies, especially after part 3. Talk about a shitty series. No, 4 on is terrible. Stephen King trivia from Evil Things. After the town is blown up, what is the name of the new store Gaunt is going to? I've not seen Evil Things. Have you?
No.
I haven't seen it. I feel bad, Brother Tom. I can't play along with that one. I don't know. Maybe people in the chat will know. But in the meantime, whose turn? It was my turn? Or no, that was I just went. You go. We'll do do you want to do 2 or 3 more each or 2 more each?
Yeah, because this would be number 6 on this card here. So
okay, we'll do 2 more each and we'll call it.
Okay. In the Nightmare on Elm Street series, Amanda Kruger is what school teacher? Nurse. Oh wait, Amanda Kruger is what? School teacher, nurse, nun, or police officer?
I know that one. That's a layup.
That's an easy one.
Yeah, she was a nun, and she gave birth to the son of 1,000 maniacs, if you will.
Right.
So dumbass got locked in the asylum. Rest in pepperonis to her, man. I always thought that was a really like fucked up origin story too. Like, and it's one of the big reasons why I like Neon Black said nurse. Really, I'm sure he's kidding. None. People got it. Unless Neon Black refuses Syria, I don't know. Veggie's trolling. I don't know. Let's see. That one. Now I don't know if you've seen this movie, so I don't know if I should ask this one.
Maybe I guess. You guess blood on the bandages.
Yeah, granted, I don't know. That wasn't my greatest moments. I don't know. Okay, this is. I think we should get it. And Mateo, if you're here, it's another Canada question, so you should be getting this, my friend.
Oh shit.
In Videodrome, 1983, the Civic TV station is located in what Canadian city?
Vancouver.
Ah.
I guess one.
Okay, Neon Black Reviews was kidding. I thought so. In part 5. No, well, yeah, no, in part 5. I think they give the origin in part 3 where she's the son of 1,000 maniacs. Okay, Brother Tom got it. Toronto with the Blue Jays and the wrap display, baby. Another Canadian got it wrong. Ontario.
That would have been my second guess.
Come on, my fellow Canadians. You got to know Cronenberg, baby. Toronto or Ottawa or Ontario. Okay, well, you got it. The first one you said. Toronto is correct. This was. Let me ask this one, though. This was the one I fucking probably should have asked, but I didn't know if you'd seen this movie. In Sinister 2012, The pagan god Bagul is also referred to by what other name?
What's his name? Fangul?
Svengoolie. No. The pagan god Bagul is referred to by what other name?
I don't know. I saw that once. I liked it, but I don't remember much of it.
No.
Satan.
It is Mr. Boogie.
Oh, Jesus. What?
Okay, we got a Canadian that got it right. Okay, I'm cool with that. I don't study movies. I'm just teasing my Canadian fans. I didn't realize how many Canadians we have in the chat. Grande is Canada. Bad effect. Long live the new Flash. I love Videodrome. It's great. Okay, you want to go one more and I'll do one more and we'll call it?
Sure.
Okay, go for it, my friend.
Well, yeah. Let me double check here. I'd like to end on a good note, but
me too.
But this
I'll start looking now.
Well, we'll just go with this one. Night of the Living Dead, 1968, was filmed in what type of monochrome form?
Monochrome form.
They're using fancy words to fuck you up.
Yeah, what the fuck? I don't know how to phrase my answer. Like, I know it was shot. It was like guerrilla filmmaking. It was done over a year, and it was only shot on Saturdays and Sundays. I don't know if there's a term for that. Are they asking like style, like what cameras and shit? Monochrome. I'm a little bit lost. Does the chat know? Neon Black Review says black and white. Is that what they're at? Really?
Monochrome means what color was it filmed in?
Really? I didn't know that. Shit, I don't know. I was thinking like way more technical than that.
Right? See, did they make you overthink it?
Filmed from above, filmed with a fucking shitty camera, for sure. That one's too easy. Okay, I gotta find one more to end this on right here. So I'm looking for the money question. I don't think I'm gonna fucking find it though. You know old school Universal monster movies, right?
For the most part, yeah.
We could probably end on one of these. This would be something fun.
That's right.
Okay, what is the surname of the doctor with which Dr. Frankenstein is forced to work with in The Bride of Frankenstein? So what's the other crazy doctor's name? He sort of steals the movie.
Yeah, but something Idious, Fastidious or Fastidious or what the fuck was his name?
Would you call him Idious? He's a fucking idiot, okay?
Something like that, right? And
you're close. You're so close. Think about it. It's not Idious, though. I promise. He's not Idious.
Or something.
Idious. Darth Sidious. Somebody said Darth Sidious. That's so funny. I didn't even see it. Darth Sidious. Igor. No, it's not Igor.
Something. Yeah. Something.
That's my favorite Universal monster movie, so I kind of had to know this one.
Did you know it?
I did.
No.
Moron, Tom says? No, not moron. Wow, we stumped people going old school black and white. I was stumped on the question that the answer was black and white. We stumped people on this one.
Yeah, I can't think of it.
No? Okay, it was Dr. Pretorius. You were close.
Clitoris, yeah. There you go.
Dr. Clitorius.
They can't find him either.
Sidious, I am the Senate. Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. I don't know. You could have gone with any of the above. I'm sure it would have been an acceptably fun answer. But yeah, no, hey man, I had a very, very fun time as always shooting the breeze with you. Of course, all things Texas Chainsaw, the original, the remake, and the goddamn ugly reboot. That's what pretty much we call this show for me. The good, the bad, and the goddamn ugly. That's basically it. Leather. Look what your brother did to the door.
You're my best friend.
He's a warm-hearted person. Same name in From the Beyond. Yes, that's right. Yeah, that's the money shot right there. Yeah, no. Oh, Dead Central wants to see. Can you show me that Part 9 Jason head behind you?
Oh yeah. Let me just get up. It'd probably be easier.
You look like very fucking confused. Idiots.
Yeah. That's Part 9. Yep. My little area here.
You got Bride of Frankenstein on the mantle, and he got it wrong. God damn it!
Oh, fuck! I told you I'm no good with names.
Idiots. From now on, whenever I watch the movie, he'll be idiots for me.
Idiots, Clitorius.
Question was, what was the other crazy doctor's name in Bride of Frankenstein? Neon Black says, great stream, guys. Thank you, man. Thank you for watching. This was a lot of fun. I had a great time, man.
Yes,
and I always, of course, you're always more than welcome to come back on, shoot the breeze. You're like a brother to me, my friend. So I appreciate you joining and spending time, man.
Brother's got a hug, man.
Big hug from a distance. From a distance. Very nice.
I'm going to crash every one of your episodes from now on. Fuck it.
Sure. Sure. Absolutely, dude. No.
Again. Hey.
Hey. I'm Robin. Hello. That would be amazing. But yeah, no. Everybody, thank you so much in the chat. I had fun playing trivia. We had fun. Talking all things Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Hope everybody had a nice, fun night. This is a long graveyard. But that's why I love it. I'm like a vampire. You have to invite me in. Oh, dude. Yeah, no, we'll totally have you on for another show as well, man. Fun as always. Thank you, man. No, I appreciate that. We'll be back next week. I haven't decided yet. I've got 2 show concepts in mind. I've got to make a decision over the weekend sometime. But everybody, cheers to a wonderful, safe, happy, healthy weekend. And we will catch you next time. Yeah, cheers. Although my water's empty. Cheers. We will catch you next time only on the graveyard. Too sweet.